Morning and welcome everyone to our regular council meeting for May the 20th. We've got everyone here minus one councillor today, so let's get rolling. Resolution to adopt the agenda as presented. Can I have a mover for that, please? Councillor Skrulin, seconded by Councillor Andrejczyk. Further discussion? Seeing none, call the question. All those in favor? It's carried. Resolution to adopt the minutes from the April 29th, 2026 meeting and May the 6th, 2026 special meeting. Mover for that, please. Councillor Langston, seconded by Councillor Andrejczyk. Any errors or omissions? Further discussion? Seeing none, call the question. All those in favor? Carried. Okay, moving on. Unfinished business, Erickson and Area Food Bank. So you guys got a presentation from this last meeting. What's everyone's take on it? They're asking for some funding possibly. Is that something we want to look at now? Budget time? What do we want to do?
Did we not have someone looking to, if we had any extra in the?
Yes, Mr. Davies was gonna see if there was money available and how much we were considering. That 20, how much were they asking for?
I thought they were asking.
1,500, wasn't it? Was it 1,500?
I think this and healthcare should be put on the federal and provincial governments.
$1,920 they were asking for 2%.
2,000.
I don't know, I think we should give it some consideration. I think that
Most
general social welfare is like,
We're all responsible.
sorry, they're asking for $1,000 for the
I
shortfall.
would disagree.
Mr. Davies, do you think you could find 1,000 in the kitty if council agreed to it?
If council wished, we could, yes.
So that's what they're asking for is $1,000.
yeah, I don't know, I've had a conversation with these guys and. You know, they get the majority of their food kind of like donated and they're just looking for a little bit of help on their operational stuff. You know, I think you kind of have to look at it as a social investment, right? When people are kind of taken care of, they're hopefully not selling drugs or robbing stores or contributing to unrest. So.
And the province and the feds, they're cutting back on this kind of stuff. And apparently there's as they made mention when they were here making their presentation, a number of them are not, they're from our area. They're in our area.
The people that had full control over making this problem worse are the ones that are cutting back on it. That puzzles me. I have no problem giving.
Very
it
true.
$1,000.
That's very true.
Yeah,
Very true.
and by all means, give a pile of money to everybody else, but don't look after your own people in your own country. Frustrating.
Everybody okay with doing $1,000?
Yeah.
Andrejczyk?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Okay, if somebody want to make a motion that we donate $1,000 to the
I'll make it.
Erickson and Area Food Bank.
I'll make it.
Councillor Langston makes the motion, seconded by Councillor Campbell. Mr. Davies, anything else that need that? Or is that good?
I know, that's good.
Okay. Any further discussion? No. Seeing none, call the question. All those in favor? Carried. Public Works Foreman report. Come on up, Cody. Good morning.
Good morning. The past 3 weeks, the graders had the packers installed on them. They've also been busy dragging roads. The east, central, and south gravel contracts have all started applying gravel to our roadways. We began applying dust control to urban roads on an intermittent basis since they have been graveled. Replaced a deteriorated culvert on Newdale Elevator Road, as well as the curve of Road 115 West and 108 North after it caused a hole to form in the driving surface. We shredded household garbage at the on waste site. The private dust control applications this year that have properties residing along a PR road, we are requiring them to go through Highways Department. The deadline is May 21st to have the applications and their $200 check that's written to the Minister of Finance received by the municipal office so that we can get it to the Highways Department. And if there's any more information needed by people, they can contact the municipal office or visit our Municipality of Harrison Park Facebook page. And then for our roads, municipal gravel roads that aren't designated PRs, the applications for private dust control is open. And the deadline is June 1st to have the applications made to the municipal office. We ran the pottinger along some roads to break up the grass. As well, we rehabilitated up 1.5 miles of road just east of town here on Swenson. I provided a visual report on the last page for you. The CCAN arrived on site in Sandy Lake for a new used oil collection depot, and we're waiting on the oil collection tank at this time. We had a grader down for a week due to leaking tandem seals, and it is back and operational. Repairs were covered under warranty. The next 3 weeks, we'll continue to apply dust control on an intermittent basis with the intent of being completed by July 1st. Continue dragging roads, and the gravel application contracts are ongoing. We will be doing the removal of the road tops on Mooswa Drive East and Barkley Drive in preparation for new asphalt overlay. We'll have on our municipal Facebook page for information regarding that, or they can phone the office. The intent is to have them closed from 9 to 5, open in the evenings so traffic can still travel over them, so they're not closed 24 hours. And there is no timeline given to us by the asphalt contractor yet. We're just preparing so that we're ready for them to give us a call and say we'll be there in 2 days kind of thing. So we're just looking ahead. Asphalt street sweeping is scheduled for the beginning of June. And that is my report.
Busy times. Yeah, you got a question? You have a question?
I was wondering, can you start a log of the graders down, which grader it is, how long it was? Because when it comes time to renew them, we might have to swap. Every time you do a report, we got a grader down for a week or a month, and this isn't acceptable when we're paying $1 million for a grader. So start logging it so we know when it comes budget time, how much time it's actually been done.
What do you think's happening, Cody? Is it just random, or is it?
Yeah, it is. Well, from what I can see, it is random. There's no error in a sense. And like this one for the tandem seals, it was just a process of inspecting the machines, realizing it was happening, and it takes 1.5 to 2 days per tandem to fix it. And then the other times we've had rather big issues that happen again that were kind of out of our control. So I don't exactly know why it's happening, but
Was that on site? Were they able to do the repair here?
no, they picked it up
Okay.
and took it to Brandon to repair at their shop.
Going back to the dust control, so people have to apply for dust control to get their properties done
In rural settings, yeah.
in rural setting. Do we do any, gratis, dust control areas?
Do what, sorry?
Gratis, like we do the dust control for an area if we're using that road?
No, like we do dust control in the urban area of Onondaga, urban area of Sandy Lake, and urban area of Newdale.
Are you specifically talking about the letter that came in last week?
I might be, yeah.
Okay.
Or have we looked after that?
It's next on the agenda.
It's next on the agenda.
Okay, sorry.
Swenson, when it was closed, when you guys were doing the work, and then all of a sudden, wind, rain, snow, everything arrived, was it just closed for the one day?
Yeah, that was kind of by design.
Yeah.
Historically, we need the moisture for it to bind together.
Yeah.
So it wasn't anticipated. We, flopped the material on the road. We knew we were getting rain, maybe not to that extent, but it worked out nice. We were able to time the material the next day, mix it together, pack it. And right now, if you drive down that road, you wouldn't
Yes.
know an issue occurred at all.
Are you happy with the gravel we're receiving so far?
Yes, been tested on a weekly basis and they've all passed.
Good.
So you've been over the Pottinger doing some road edges. I know you did the back lanes. I seen in Sandy Lake. It's working good.
Yep.
And forgetting that's what we're still doing. We're still doing a lot of that.
Yeah, and then we also tried some machine roads for something different.
Yeah.
And so far we haven't had a chance to drag them, but I checked on them yesterday after we had moisture all weekend and rain in the morning and snow and stuff, and they're in really good shape. So far, I would say it was a success doing it on machine roads, and only a
Brings the
matter
gravel
of,
to the top.
Yeah, and it gets rid of the grass
Yeah.
and busts it up, and then when we get a chance to drag it, it should save us time and money
It
actually.
should save this gravel, we shouldn't have to gravel them because basically it's bringing the gravel to the top.
And that's the.
I'm not comfortable in saying that yet, but I'd like to drag it first, bat it around, get some more moisture on it and see
Mhm.
what that brings us. But right now it does look that way.
So, well, that's good.
Is Pottinger, that's the one that brings the gravel?
That's the machine, that's a vertical tiller that goes behind
A
the tractor, and
Yeah.
that's just the brand name of it, so that's just what we refer to it as,
Okay.
is a Pottinger.
So it pulls grass and rock to the.
It doesn't pull anything, it drives over it and it just tills it up.
Oh, just.
The other
On
one's the
site.
reclaimer. The
The
other
reclaimer's the one that's on the.
arm of the grader, yeah. that's the
Yeah,
one
and that we just haven't had time to use.
Okay.
What does that reclaimer cost to buy? $100,000? What was it?
I think it was around that when it was first purchased.
You could try and make time to get that thing put on to save gravel. There's a lot of gravel out there in the ditches that I've seen just walking around, and we're talking residential zones to where speeds are a lot less and the gravel is flowing quite far into the ditches. It's unfortunate to see. So I hope that next year we schedule a time to get that looked after.
This year, just having 3 gravel contracts starting and the snowfalls and the timing, just our equipment power doesn't allow us to, but definitely keep it in mind, yeah.
Okay, any other
This thing's
questions?
not pulling gravel up.
What's that?
This thing's not pulling
No,
gravel.
but off the shoulders.
Off the shoulders.
Yeah,
Oh,
there's-
yeah.
And for example, I had mentioned to our public works foreman earlier that just south of Fast Gas, I don't know what that road's called, but it takes it to Sir Roby's business. There's a pile of gravel just on the shoulder, and we just gravelled that road last week, and it's disappointing to see that gravel just being further pushed into the ditch. So I don't think with that gravel on the shoulder, I don't think we would have needed to gravel that road. But then again, I don't know anything about building a road, so.
Yeah.
Great job on the wayside nominal. It's got a nice flow now. Just needs some sunshine to dry it up and.
Oh yeah, I didn't have that in my report. We moved around the bins, like the mixed recycling bins in Onondaga. And then Parks Canada also gave us new bins for the tin and glass that we're continuing to accept separately. And we just changed locations on the wayside. Sorry, just to elaborate on what Councillor Scrutland said.
Yeah, I've just been. I'm hearing, I was there yesterday, was able to see it, and a lot of people have shared with me. Nice to see that, yeah, nice structure, nice flow.
Good, thank you.
Any other questions?
And I only saw one cat instead of 50.
Okay, dust control on the gravel roads, so how are they making out on those self contracts? Are they almost done? I guess we'd call it from 96 north, I guess that is.
The last map I received, no, there's about 1,500 yards applied with the South contract at this time.
Okay, so they're still gonna be hauling that way for a bit yet, like that, we call it the haul road now?
I would have, yeah, I haven't outright asked, but yeah, and I know they are running 16 highway as well to get to Newdale area, like west of Newdale, east of Newdale, sorry.
East of New Deal, yeah.
Yeah, and north of 16.
Yeah.
So they aren't exclusively running it from what I've seen, but I also haven't been told that either, so.
Okay.
Just what I've observed.
So, yeah, so cause we received some. Same as every year, we get the same calls about dust control for those 4 properties along there. So I reached out to Yellowhead, and Yellowhead had mentioned that they were putting it on their radar to dust control, Mr. Davies, or was it only the one property that they were
They
gonna,
would pay 50% of one property.
50% of the one property?
And the rest are all on ours? The-
No, the rest are sorry, the ones in Yellowhead, they would pay 50% of the one property.
In Yellowhead,
In Yellowhead, yes.
and then want us to pay the full cost of the people. in
No,
Yellowhead. No.
They didn't ask that. So we're hauling through Yellowhead and then through us. So there's upwards of 8 yard sites along that route that we're hearing from 1 or 2 of them. So Yellowhead, the one is a private road, I guess, in a sense, from what we found out from them. But they said they would pay 50% of the dust control on that, and it'd be up to the homeowner to pay the other 50. That's the letter you received last week, or that email we sent out.
So that is in Yellowhead.
Yes.
What were you wrote, right?
Exactly.
I think that just happened, so. A lot of people from a lot of different municipalities use roads that aren't in their municipality, so it's just part of. Maybe
What's the cost?
For heavier traffic, I would recommend the $810, which is just a little bit more product on it, just to hopefully have it more effective. But a normal 500-foot section by 16 feet is $540. That's the full cost per site.
per site. So there's 1, 2, this one sends the letters, 3.
Well, there's a total of 7 houses in Yellowhead and 3 houses in Harrison Park along the South Central Contract Haul Road. And then in the west on that haul road, there is 9 houses on that haul road as well. If we were to do the same for our ratepayers in our municipality.
And
And-
you said 9 in RM?
Yeah, on the west contract.
So
Yeah.
out of that, how many already pay to have that applied? Any?
Yeah, all but I guess 7 of them do already, and they have in the previous
Okay,
time frame. They notice it's dusty and they applied it themselves. They're paid to have it applied themselves.
okay.
They have paid to apply themselves, but are they covering 50% or are they covering 100%?
50%. That's we cover 50% for any rural resident in municipality of Harrison Park.
Right.
If it's applied on private property, then it's full price.
Okay, makes sense. And speaking of dust control, will you be doing the honorable road at the wayside again?
No, we haven't done the actual road for quite a couple of years, actually.
Okay.
We just do it when it starts to come into the site, just because it is a curve and it's,
Yeah.
gates and stuff like that. So we have done it right at the entrance. But for quite a few years, we haven't done the whole road, just kind of cost analysis portion, I guess, in a sense.
So you do the corner,
Yeah, we do like right at the entrance part
Yeah.
there. Yeah.
okay?
Yeah.
The only reason I ask is because I've had ratepayers go, there's certain times of the summer when it's been no moisture.
Mhm.
And it's like, you can't see
Right.
when there's lots of traffic.
So what's council feel that should we look at doing something more for this whole road, or what do we wanna do?
How long do they use that road?
Well, they'll probably be using it for another few weeks for sure, till probably,
I don't know, a
Yeah.
month. Like
Month.
they could use it out till whenever.
Exactly.
We just have a deadline of August 1st for the contract to be completed. That doesn't mean the contract will be completed. by then.
Exactly. So we're
Um,
using that road a lot, so
Well,
I
that's-
think we should,
I think that's just part of what happens with ratepayers going gravel. It's gotta come from somewhere, and it's usually not in a.
Okay, so help me understand, where our gravel suppliers are driving up and down this road, which is in Yellowhead?
Yep.
Correct.
I don't know, I kind of, I understand, but at the same time, that's their businesses and, it's their quarry. Their quarry's probably gonna tax.
but they're paying 50.
7 of 9.
Yeah.
No, that's the west contract I'm talking. So sorry, I clumped in all of our haul roads. If we're gonna focus just on the one.
Yeah.
Okay, there is one person at 50% that Yellowhead has acknowledged that they will pay for.
Yeah.
The other ones would be whatever council chose. Yes, 50% all, none.
We're already covering 50% of the ones in our municipality on haul.
That choose to, no,
That choose to get dust.
and we cover it whether it's a haul road or not.
Yeah.
That's just a gratuity that's expressed to the rural ratepayers.
Yeah, so we're already covering
So
50%.
these are the properties that are in Yellowhead.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I'm not paying anything for the people that are in Yellowhead.
Yeah. What do you think, Jeremy?
Well, it's our, like, we need to use that road for get our gravel to our municipality. Because we have no other pits. So I lean towards, if it costs us, what did you say, a section would be how much dollars to do a section?
810. So it's there's 7 houses being on Yellowhead. Sorry here, option E.
Well, I take that whole road, there's 1 yard, 2, hers would be 3.
There's 10 houses and approaches. So again, are we doing houses or are we doing yard sites?
I think you're just doing it, that's what I would suggest.
So
I don't know why.
And 50%, that's what I wouldn't do, I would just say where the yards are. Would be all I would be open to the idea.
Yards being houses or yards being like a place?
Well, some places have multiple approaches, so they have green bins and.
Yeah, I would just say red houses.
Yeah, yards.
And we would only do the one where the semi trucks go across using the road, right?
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's the only ones that I'm more focused on are
Perfect.
the
Tell
farm.
us where they are, Chad.
So this is the boundary here, and then I'm heading west, so we have, this yard isn't really occupied right now.
You don't
This
need
is the
that
one
one.
where you got the letter from. This is the section of road that actually goes through the quarter section that has never been purchased by Yellowhead, so it's cross private property. We go north here. I don't think this yard site's occupied anymore.
That one
This
is,
one is,
that
this
one
one
is.
is. And then
That
this
one is.
one here, and then Counselor Andrachik, is there someone down near the pit?
Yeah, I don't think they live there, but it's occupied. It's half the time or something.
Yeah, so to me, it'd be like that one there where your cursor is. Right there,
Or
that one. That one. And that one.
So
I have to remember, there's more to just putting calcium on those roads though, right? Yellowhead would have to be, their contractor's gotta gravel them ahead, then they've gotta prepare them, then they gotta put the calcium.
They get calcium every year, like they've had calcium in the past.
So it's not just a matter of showing up there and putting calcium.
No, you're right.
And so then what happens? Are we gonna turn around and ask their municipality to pay for our spots that aren't being calciumed when they're hauling from our gravel pits?
Are we?
Well,
Well, I think we're gonna open a can of worms here that we don't wanna get into. I think it's
Yeah,
part of
well,
business. It's like me going to P&H elevator. I mean, the people that are on those roads, are they gonna ask that all of a sudden us farmers start paying half of their dust control because we're using the road? Like,
So you're saying no?
well, I just don't know how you start and stop it.
Right.
Because Rob Ballon might get all of Yellowhead's contract next year and he might haul it all from his yard. So then we're gonna do, or the, you know, I'm just not sure how you. The one site that's on private property,
Well,
okay,
we
that's,
just.
we don't know the whole situation. That's between him and them and Yellowhead, but I mean, I guess if we wanted to pay for part of that one, because if it gets shut down, then the gravel's gotta go
It's just gonna.
same distance, just different route.
Yeah.
That honestly doesn't change much. But, it changes nothing, actually. They're either going south, they're going to the same distance, but.
okay,
So consensus are, I'm hearing that we're not paying for it.
so then they should use the other road, or they'll have to, because the lady said she'll.
Close the road.
block
Well,
it
if they
off.
close the road, then or if they shut it down, I don't know what I don't know what
Is it a
conversation they've been
private road?
having.
Yeah.
I don't know that.
Yeah, Yellowhead doesn't own it.
So,
I mean, I didn't realize that till the letter, and now we're really talking.
Okay, so that's a private road.
well,
It goes right through the quarter section.
it's not private because it's open to the public, but it's not purchased by the municipality, so.
Yep.
You figure out what it's actually called.
And that's the only, that's
Right,
it's a
like-
one-off, it's only a
It's a
one-off.
one-off, yeah.
But is that not the municipality's problem? Like,
That,
Well,
it is their problem. But our trucks were going that way.
and she's saying if we dust control it, then she'll let them through?
Well, I think she's been trying to deal with Yellowhead. I'm not sure.
Why don't we just?
Why don't we just do hers?
Truck Go the other way.
Because Yellowhead has agreed to do hers already at 50%.
It's the same
Up to
district.
$300.
Okay, so what,
That's
are they asking for the other $300 or she
No.
don't care?
No, she's just, that's what they've agreed to, is that Yellowhead's doing that portion right now.
Well, then we should do the other portion.
Or we tell the driver to go the other road. I think Jeremy just said it's. a big
Ultimately,
business.
it's not our obligation. We've contracted him to go and look at gravel and like, if he wants to take a shortcut or not take a shortcut, it's
The
ultimately
road
their
closed, he's
prerogative.
going a different route.
I'm not sure what to say. I don't think Mr. Davies or
So we're not-
what do you guys, I mean, this is your wheelhouse. This is, what do you?
If we start paying for dust control in another municipality, it's like Councilor Andrachik said, what happens if the contract for that municipality comes out of our RM? Are they going to?
Which is very possible.
Very possible, yeah.
So,
And another thing of note is this is one of the, not this is a reason, but we don't dictate where contractors pull material from, and we don't dictate why they or where they haul. We just ask for the gravel in certain locations, and wherever they choose to go or not go is up to them.
And we did indicate to Yellowhead, to the CAO, that if we do damage the road or if it needs to be dragged, we would be willing to go and put our grader on the road and put material in the holes, just like our contractor does in ours.
Yep.
And we have done
So
so in the
we
past.
have done that.
Again, the question to me is like, why, right? As long as we're operating within like the normal weight restrictions, it's like. Does it cost of doing business? You wanna have industrial sites in your municipality, like, who's gonna take the shit out of the roads? Right, we've just injected a $500,000 $1 million into that municipality and, yeah, there's some road issues along the way. Like,
Okay, well, it's consensus seems we're not paying for it, so if you want to respond to that person who sent us a letter, so we just. You know, where we stand as a municipality and then. Go from there.
Maybe just explain to her, it's like, where does it end, you know?
Yep.
And if she decides to barricade the road, our contractor will take another alternative route.
All we can do.
Yep.
Okay. Enough, we'll send that out. Thanks, Cody.
Thank you.
Thanks, Cody.
4.1, resolution for accounts. We see some in front of them. Anyone have any questions about those checks?
Got one answered.
Can I get a mover to get these on the table? Counselor Graychick, seconded by Counselor Langston. Any other questions? Seeing none, call the question. All those in favor? Carried. 4.2, I will step out for this one.
4.2, resolution for conflict of interest account. Can I have a mover and a seconder to get this on the table? Counselor Langston, seconded by Counselor Campbell. Discussion. Seeing none, call the question. All those in favor? Carried. Did we want to discuss?
We just continue with the meeting, 9:30, we have, public hearings, I see one of the applicants are here.
Get that.
Right there?
Yeah.
Counselor indemnities. Need a mover to get this on the table. Counselor Langston, seconded by Counselor Graychick. Further discussion? Seeing none, call the question. All those in favor? Carried. Resolution for partnership agreement with Clear Lake Country Destination Marketing Group. Can I get a mover to get this on the table? Counselor Langston, seconded by Counselor Screwdale. So Counselor Langston, you were working on this?
Yeah, basically, we've had this come back a few times. The consensus was the group was looking for a non-performance out. It's been added. Probably don't need to go through the reasons why this is a good idea. It seemed like everyone was in favor, so that was amended just to.
Anybody have any questions about the new amendments to it?
It's a 60-day out by letter, I think, Steve.
I believe so.
We're giving 45, 15 for 3 years.
Yeah.
And if that ever came to be 60 days in writing, but you still have to fulfill that obligation for that term.
Yep.
On the financial side. Okay.
I like that they're gonna include Sandy Lake and Western Days and on and on.
Well, might not have Western Days if we don't get a board.
Well,
Maybe they'll wanna run it.
they'll run some of the Sandy Lake stuff at least, keep up to Christmas and whatever they have.
Further discussion? Seeing none, call the question. All those in favor? Carried. Accounts receivable policy.
Mr. Chair, it's 9:30 and
Sure.
both applicants are.
Perfect.
They're on Zoom or in the room.
Can I get a mover to open our first public hearing? Counselor Langston, seconded by Counselor Graychick. All those in favor? Carried. Go ahead, Robert.
Good morning, Robert.
Morning. This is variation application 2026 V-06 applied by Gordon Wood. This is for 82 Countryside Drive. The proposal is to reduce the north side property setback from 15 feet to 6 feet to allow for a new 12-foot by 32-foot addition under the RM of Park zoning bylaw 1311, part 7(2) in the urban bulk table. Section 94.1 of the Planning Act requires that a variation application be filed. Notice of the hearing is sent out at least 14 days prior to the hearing. I do have a copy of the notified here and of all the residents that were sent within 100 meters. There was 26 letters sent. To this date, I have received the planning application and made the proposed drawings with regards to the subject's application. I had received two inquiries about it from the neighbors, but we had chatted about it and they did not.
I'm sorry, I didn't.
I had two representations from different neighbors. After chatting with the one, they did not send in an objection letter, but they may be on Zoom. Respectfully filed this date of May 20th, 2026.
So no pushback from any, no formal pushback from any of the neighbors?
No formal ones. Like I said, they may be online.
There is one of the neighbors online.
Okay. But
No
the
objection.
Gord- no.
I
Okay,
see the picture, but what property is it on the picture? It's not.
This one here.
Is that, oh, okay, yes.
So the north property line will be backing on to
No, the north property line is.
that one.
Gordwood is here as well. Gordwood, set up.
Come on up. Good morning.
Morning, everyone.
Morning. So, yeah, so you're just asking for come a little bit closer to your property line.
Yeah. Yeah, essentially, we're looking to put an addition right along the north side there. It would be 32 feet in length, so a bit staggered off the existing front. And then it would essentially be about 8 feet off the back end of the home. So it'd be the back half of the addition is a 2-story, and the front half is kind of to I guess match the front. That's a lofted ceiling.
Have you had a legal survey done?
I've not had any legal survey done. No.
Is there, so the deck is currently existing?
Currently
The
existing, yes.
whole deck,
Yes.
so you're kind of,
Mirroring what the deck is, just a little bit larger than the deck, yeah.
and what's going on the other side of that north property line?
Bush?
On the neighbor's side,
Yeah.
their driveway.
Yeah.
Is on the opposite side of his north property line.
Yeah.
But it shouldn't get down to the point of, just by looking at the picture, the driveway ends where your house begins.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
appears that
Yeah.
way, yeah, so.
Basically the shadow on this image.
Mhm.
Where's the garage? Back in the corner there? Yeah, okay. So the deck doesn't extend, the deck does extend all the way, right, on going to the north? Is that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
the deck extends along the north side. Yeah.
And sorry, Robert, can you remind me of what our setback without a variance we need?
15 feet currently.
Was that not changing with their new
It
development?
is,
plan?
we're just waiting for the development plan to be approved to approve his zoning bylaw, which they don't get rid of. these.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
exactly, so that's where it was changing to.
In the new zoning bylaw, it would be 5 feet that's permitted.
So you're telling us if he waits until our new zoning bylaw comes in, he doesn't have to do this?
Basically, yeah.
I appreciate you paying.
Any other questions for the applicant before I open the floor for discussion? Okay, I'll just get you to step back for now and then I'll open the floor. If anybody online would like to speak to this variation application, just raise your hand and I want to meet you.
Miss Perkin is unmuted.
Perkin, Darlene, are you there?
I am.
Good morning. Yeah,
Good morning.
of course.
We are the neighbor to the north, and this does affect us directly. We've talked to Gord and we've looked at his plan, and because of the I guess the new bylaw that's coming in, it is rather pointless. I guess one of our big concerns is when you get these properties this close together, it's not like a city property where you have city water for the fire trucks. I guess there's a little fire concern. But we are quite happy with how Gord is trying to respect our privacy and his privacy with his addition. So we just wanted to, call attention to the fact that this proximity is a little bit of a fire concern in that particular area. And our other concern was the notification process. We were away for 3 weeks. The first letter arrived while we were away. It was posted on the day we left. So had the meeting gone ahead, if there hadn't been an error and the meeting was postponed, we would have had no say in it. So I really question the notification process that the municipality is using for a variance. That it could mean that this was passed and we would have had no way, no recourse. So those are just our two concerns. But like I said, we've had a good discussion with Gord about his plan.
Okay, thank you for that. So yeah, so when we're notifying, it's by mail.
Yep.
And to the neighboring properties, and we post it in-house here and online. Is it online as well? Or it's just in
I believe
it's
it's
just in the paper,
Yeah.
It's on our website.
on a website,
Mhm.
and then it's in the paper,
No,
Not on the.
Not for variations.
not for variations.
It just goes to the immediate neighbors within 300 feet of the property all the way around. At least minimum 14 days. We usually try to get it out before then, but that's following the Planning Act requirements.
How are we doing with collecting emails, of ratepayers, just so potentially that could be a way?
With emails, I believe according to the Planning Act, we have to have everybody's approval within that 100 meters. So you have to ask them, get their approval, and then be able to email them as well.
Well, I think in cases like this, I don't know who would want or who would not want to have the email, just because people do, there's a lot of people up here that are here for a long period of time.
Yeah, they're snowbirds and to be informed.
But yeah, not to get off topic, but it would be
Yeah.
nice to see people handing in their emails.
Mhm.
Add something there to the email discussion.
Yeah, go ahead.
We receive our tax receipts by email, so our email is on file. And when you're away on a trip, you're not exactly checking the RM website to see if once in 25 years something comes up that is going to affect you. So email would be a good solution.
Okay,
Also save us a lot of money on our postage.
okay, no, thanks for that. Is there anyone else who would like to speak to this variation application?
Question or two more.
What we've done on the floor here.
Yeah.
Second call for variation application, last call for variation application, pardon me. Okay, you had a question for Robert?
Yeah, septic fields involved around those, that construction at all?
So I can speak to that. The septic field is set back behind the house, so that actually, the reason that we're going to the north side is because of the septic field. Otherwise, we would have a lot of work to do there with our field, so we have to stay a certain distance away from that. So I had the plumber contract come and check that, so the addition is that required. I think it's a meter from your building. The exterior of the tank needs to be 1 meter away from your building.
Okay.
And again, that's what I've been told by the plumbing contractors, that that's code.
Okay. Any other questions?
Is there a requirement to get a survey for this or?
There's not, unless council would like to.
You can
Have a survey put in.
If we want. When we're get to that point, we can put it in the resolution if we want to.
I thought we were doing surveys for everybody.
So, okay, any other questions on this before I close this one and open the next public hearing? Can I get a mover to close this one and open the next public hearing? Councilor Langston, seconded by Councilor Goodland. All those in favor? Carried. This is bylaw 179.
Yep.
Zoning bylaw amendment. Go ahead.
This is second reading for zoning bylaw amendment 179. Colin and Linda Lewandowski have made application to amend the RM of Harrison zoning bylaw 1381 as amended. Bylaw number 179 is intended to amend map 4 of the municipality of Harrison zoning bylaw 1381 by rezoning portion of Southwest 9/1820 from agricultural limited zone to residential zone. This is to allow a new residential lot to be created for a single family dwelling. And on February 25th, 2026, under resolution 2026-05, the matter has been given first reading. Prior to second reading, a public hearing must be held and a public notice given under section 168 of the Planning Act. Notices were sent out to all meters within 100 or to all owners within 100 meters of the property at least 14 days prior to this hearing. There were 69 letters sent out. Postings were also placed in the municipal office, as well as ads placed in the South Mountain Press, Crossroads this week, and the Minnedosa Tribune on April 24th and May 8th of 2026, as well as sent to all adjacent municipalities and the provincial park. I had received 0 objections to this point in time from any owners or from any provincial agencies. I had received 3 general inquiries. Should there be no objections filed with the municipality as a result of circulation, notification, or the public hearing, council can move forward with second reading of bylaw 179.
Robert, the only one you haven't heard from is the drainage and water rights licensing branch. That's the only department that hasn't.
That's the only
provided
one that
any
we
comments.
hadn't received anything from.
So when
so
do
far.
you suspect we'll hear from them?
We've been trying to get a hold of the province from Devon, and I'm not too sure if he's just away currently or not. But with this, they were in the letter, it shows that we could still go ahead with second reading as far as I understand.
You'll notify us once. Yeah, it's on top of the hill, but they'll notify us once they get there.
Yeah, part of it is in an incorporated or like a local urban district where the drainage authority for a lot of it too. So Newdale, Sandy Lake, we have the authority to put in our culverts and stuff like that. Still can't fill in wetlands. Up here, it's a little different because we're not a LUD. So you do need permission. So that's possibly one thing that they haven't applied for.
Okay. So do we need to wait until we get sign off?
No.
We can move forward. They said they'll notify us once.
There's just some protocol you guys have to go through on it.
Yeah, there'll be something, if they do come back with something, then we have to, the
That
applicant just has to follow.
that property is a ways away from slough, I guess it would be called, wouldn't it? A body of water, like there's enough land development there that they don't need to be encroaching onto
Like
that.
they're up high enough as well
Yeah.
from anything.
Yeah, so the drainage is natural.
Where is it?
Right here is where the lot is going.
Yeah.
The highest.
Yeah.
It's a house supporting.
No, exactly, yeah.
It'll all run downhill.
Colin or Charlene are on Zoom if there's.
I've got nothing.
Any questions from council on this?
None.
Okay, I'll open the public hearing up if anyone wants to speak to this. Second call to speak to this zoning bylaw amendment. And last call to speak to the zoning bylaw amendment.
No hands, Mr. Chair.
Okay. Any other questions from council before I close this and enter into regular session again? Okay, can I get a mover to close this and open in regular session? Councillor Skolden, seconded by Councillor Screwman. All those in favor? Carried. Let's go back and finish up the last few over here and then we will break.
Thanks, Robert.
Okay, so we ended off, we're at the accounts receivable policy,
Which one are you on?
4.5.
4.5.
Yeah. Mr. Davies, you guys are looking to update our policy, is that it?
That's correct. Consolidate 2 policies into 1 as per our finance officer. Just so we're not flipping back and forth between 2 of them.
Makes sense.
And I think all those updates were actually noted quite extensively in there.
Yep.
The reasons therefore.
Yep. Anybody have any questions about any of the updates she's put in there? A lot of them seem like pretty straightforward. So. So the plan would be you put one together, a new one, and then just bring it to us at the next council meeting, is that it, or?
I know we would just get rid of all the editing here and what's not crossed or what's crossed off will disappear. What's been added will come in and we just go on from there.
So instead of it being 250 for you to approve, you're increasing it to 500.
500, correct. On that one. Sorry, yeah, for collection 500, and then I've always had the authority to write off 500.
Why would it not be able to, why can't you put it on property taxes? What would limit you from doing that?
If they don't have property here. That's where we go to collection. If they don't actually have property here, we can't go on anything, so that's what
we
you're
should have to pay
collection.
taxes if they own that property here.
So these are like wayside invoices?
Oh, well, okay, good, yeah, because that's what I would actually,
So they use
Mention
the
it to our
waste site,
public works
charge it.
yeah.
Yeah. And then if we have no property to add it to, then if they don't pay it, we have to go and try to recover it some other way.
Thanks for the clarification, because I've seen a lot of people from Erickson, Clan William coming up here with truck boxes full and trailers full, and I'm to the point of saying, well, asking council that we deny them. If they cannot prove that they own property in our municipality, then they turn around and they go to the municipality that they pay tax in. They are adding to our tonnage that we will eventually, and we're losing out. They don't go to Erickson because it's too expensive. Now they come up here and it's extremely cheap. And our ratepayers are the ones that are gonna be putting the bill for it. I briefly mentioned this to our landfill attendant that, I was gonna mention this to council, and have some sort of out of municipality, you don't own property here, then dump your garbage someplace else.
Now I know why. I've been to a couple of different RM's waste sites. And some of them have a scanner like a Visa machine, and you need to have a card as a ratepayer, and it's got a barcode. And that confirms you are a ratepayer. You're able to dump your garbage here, otherwise you're not charging it, you're paying the bill.
So what we'll do is we'll put that as tipping fees for the next meeting and we'll discuss that, Mr. Davies. Let's go back to the accounts receivable policy.
Yeah, we'll come
And-
back with that.
Yeah. So, anybody have any questions on the accounts receivable policy? Before I call for a vote on that.
So basically, we're raising it to $500.
Well, and he had the authority before.
At 250.
At 250.
Let's go to 5, yeah.
Council will approve anything over 500. Okay. Anybody have any questions, concerns? Last call for it, before I call the vote on it. So it would be just a resolution to, or you need a resolution, or are you just gonna update this?
Be a resolution to approve the policy.
Okay, can I get a mover for that, please? Councilor Graychick, seconded by Councilor Langston. Further discussion? All those in favor? Carried. Resolution for unaudited financial statements ending April 30th. Everybody read that over? Any questions? Can I get a mover? Councilor Graychick, seconded by Councilor Screwland. Further discussion? Seeing none, call the question. All those in favor? Carried. Resolution for supplementary taxes, January 22nd.
This is dealing with Oakburn Game and Fish property. There was a building that wasn't tax exempt out there, so we got the listing in January, effective for this year as well, but we didn't have our mill rates in place. So then once we had those, then we were able to actually provide this listing.
Mover, Councilor Langston. Seconder, Councilor Graychick. For the discussion. All those in favor? Carried. Resolution for perpetual care and trust agreement.
Can I step out, Mr. Chair?
Sure, you can. Okay, I need a mover to get this on the table. Councilor Langston, seconded by Councilor Graychick. So everybody read that over. So basically, they're just looking at, they'll give us money to look after the property.
Who, Catholic Church?
Catholic Cemetery and Church.
So the churchyard
And
and
the
the
cemetery.
cemetery, which are not adjacent to each other, they're in
No.
different spots.
The cemetery is adjacent to our municipal one.
Two cemeteries, actually.
Yeah.
The Pioneer one is northwest of town. The other one is right next to the municipal cemetery, just outside of town. It's like a big sign and then the church.
So it's $20,000 if we assume that we get a 4% dividend, it's roughly $800 in perpetuity. But the, 4% is fairly conservative, it's reasonable. So I don't know, it seems like a pretty generous offer. I think they otherwise just take off.
Who cuts their grass now? Or,
They were hiring people,
okay,
but it's getting harder and harder to find people to do it. So, it's not really adding much work to our staff.
And because I don't know, is it a riding tractor? Is that what our guy?
No, it would be, yeah, it'd be you.
And
we use our
do
riding.
they have to pick an edger and go around?
No, it's just cutting and weed whacking.
Cutting and
Weed
weed.
whacking, all that, and
Yeah.
it's gonna add, but I mean,
They're getting paid. I mean,
well, it's gonna cost us probably. I guess the option is either we probably pay it all one day or we get a little bit, cause I mean, $800 is gonna pay for what? 2 cuts? We're gonna cut it 8
Once a month?
times,
yeah,
right? So more than once a month,
Yeah.
probably 8 times or 9 times we'll cut it. So I mean, we are gonna lose money at it, but at least they're giving us money to start a fund to help offset it. Otherwise, they probably spend the 20,000 and we end up cutting it anyway, so. But it's, I think we'll go ahead with it. Similar to the Jackfish one, not sure if we have any other ones. Someone, do you know if we have any other agreements?
Never opportunity for off the top of my head. I know we do it with the one, but
Okay, I do like that it states in here that we are only responsible basically for mowing and trimming. We're not responsible for fixing plots or planting grass, so that's.
Yeah, yeah, they're still doing that portion.
So I fully support it. I think that it's gonna come down the pipe eventually, but we have to be mindful that it is gonna cost us a little bit of money for maintaining.
Okay. Any other questions on it? Before we call a vote?
We have the internal capacity to deal with this.
Yeah, we got 2 town workers that are able to mow it. We got all kinds of, we got mowers, trimmers, we've got everything to do it. They're doing the one, like I said, just to the north end. And they're doing the one, they're doing the old Pioneer one anyway, but the Pioneer one, they don't cut that often because it's not visited that much. It's a hill over there, it's gravel, it doesn't grow much. So they weren't doing that one that often anyway. The one by town will have to do a little more because it's right as you come to town. So. Further discussion? No. Seeing none, call the question. All those in favor? It's carried. You want to ask me to come back, please?
and we have a break.
Yeah, okay, we'll do a 5-minute recess and then we'll come back. We'll do a 5-minute recess, Mr. Davies, and we'll come back. Okay, welcome back. We're into our delegations portion now, at 10 o'clock. Lisa and Shirley, you're up first with our tax impact for 2027.
no, sure.
No, Shirley, did you?
Should I be passing this up?
Yes, if you could,
That's the package that's online.
In case you want a paper one.
That's the desktop review.
That's yeah.
So what I've,
Okay, go ahead, the floor is yours.
thank you. So what I bring to you today is sort of 2 different presentations. The purpose for today's meeting is tax impact because of reassessment 2027. But I wanted to give you just a really quick overview of what we call DTR, or desktop review, and that's what you have in front of you. So I just want to talk about a little bit about who we are, what we do, how we do it. So you'll see I'm on page, I'm not sure what you have.
We also have it on the screen, maybe so.
Okay, so
We're
we're
a copy of it?
well, I've got, it's just, I won't say page 2 because you've got it printed differently.
you turn the TV on, shoot the phone. It's good, but sometimes it whacks the other one out and I didn't be responsible.
It's not critical that we be on the same page. It just goes along. There's some visuals. There we go. So desktop review using high resolution imagery. So property assessment services branch is a branch of the Department of Municipal and Northern Relations. We're responsible for the assessment of the entire province except the city of Winnipeg. The result is over 449,000 property assessments. 2025, the total market value, 139 billion. Which turns into approximately 1.4 billion in tax revenue. Municipal tax revenue is 696 million. That's of 2025.
Excluding Winnipeg.
No, that information is all of the province.
Okay.
We don't assess Winnipeg, but that is the 2 put together.
Thank you.
So Winnipeg has their own assessment branch. But this is talking about everything. The goals and principles of assessment service are grounded in the pillars of excellence and fairness. We're committed to ensuring Manitoba property owners are provided with accurate and equitable property assessments that are understandable. That's the most challenging part, I think. Transparent and fair. Legislated biannual province-wide revaluations result in assessments that are current and easily understandable by Manitobans. We also have a commitment to quality and effective service delivery of up-to-date property assessment roles, which ensures municipalities have reliable tax bases, and as a result, citizens in those municipalities receive critical services. Our branch also needs to ensure that our legislative framework within the Municipal Assessment Act, as well as our policies and procedures, are modern and current in the continually evolving field of real estate. So fun facts in Manitoba, 449,000 properties and climbing, 439,000 plus are real property. Personal property, you're looking at things like oil wells, oil transmission lines, and there are still a few municipalities that use business assessments, none near here, but there are still a few. Property Assessment Services has 10 district offices and a Winnipeg office. Again, we don't assess in Winnipeg, but our central services are located there. We have 100 staff in total, including administration, assessors, senior technical staff, and managers. And today we have 68 assessors. We have 3 key deliverables. The first is a 2-year province-wide reevaluation cycle, which requires approximately the equivalent of 10 FTEs. Which means of our 68 assessors that only 58 of those are working on assessment on a day-to-day basis. The second is to ensure that assessment roles are updated annually to reflect the 2,500 new properties that are developed each year and more than 12,000 annual building permits each year. The third, and the one I'm sort of leaning toward talking about today, is reinspection standards. So in 2010, the Office of the Auditor General conducted an audit of Property Assessment Services branch. And some of the recommendations that came forward were standards for inspection cycles. So new construction, we are required to inspect within 2 years of the onset of the construction, not the completion. Sold properties, we have to contact the property owner, either the vendor or the seller, or use MLS listings to verify that sale within 2 years of the sale. Appeals, we have to be in touch with the appellant before the hearing, which if you know how the Board of Revision works, from the time they appeal to the time of the hearing is about 14 days. So generally in that time, we've been in contact, we've been out and inspected maybe a couple times. And then the reinspection, every developed property, meaning that has a building on it, an 8-year reinspection cycle, meaning we physically have eyes on it, and 12 years for vacant land or exempt properties. So we needed to find a way to increase the number of reviews to meet these standards, because on-site inspections were traditionally used, but were falling behind with that. Since implementation, desktop reviews and other innovative tools, we've improved significantly, and we're currently meeting the reinspection standard of 82% of properties. So in 2014, through an RFP, we set out to procure high-resolution oblique imagery, and it was a pilot program to see how this was going to work. So Eagle View was the successful candidate. They fly planes over properties in sort of a matrix pattern, and then they take the information that they get and they stitch it all together and work with that information actually longer than they fly the information to get it all pieced together. I get ahead of myself. Homeowners refusing inspection has always been a challenge, but it's become increasingly greater challenge since 2020. So you can see on the next page limitations of physical inspections. It's becoming more and more tricky to get to where we need to be. Weather conditions, of course, safety. We don't run into an awful lot of angry dogs, but it's there. Identifying the property. When I'm out and looking at a shed on your property, and if you're in a rural setting, sorry, an urban setting, I don't know if that sheds on your property or on the next property, and if you're not there to tell me, it can be tricky. So site inspections are time sensitive, costly, and can present unique challenges. On the next page, you'll see that trees can be an issue. It's hard to get to the base of a house to measure. Overgrown trees and bush, winter, it can make it again very challenging. Driving conditions, cottages in the winter months, we try not to go somewhere and leave footprints where it looks like there's only been one set of footprints to that cabin in a long time. So pictometry, which is the science of the oblique imagery that we've procured, is a better use of our time and resources and makes for happier assessors. So what you see here is orthogonal and oblique imagery, what we would be looking at on the screen. So imagery capture is in the spring of each year. They're actually flying right now where we're working, and after the snow melts, but before the leaves are on. So we flew this area last spring at this time and worked on the imagery through the winter.
Looks like Chad does.
Yeah, we targeted him there. Yeah. Sorry, I should correct. We flew here not past spring, but the spring before. So the work then is done in the winter, December to mid-March. The project includes more than 30 assessors from across the province, and the project will review 32,000 properties through the whole project. The tools we use, you can see in a couple pages there. The desktop review has guidelines as to what we add, what we remove, how we do it, what sort of time frame that happens in. We use the oblique imagery, and we use Google Earth for historical information as well. So then the next few slides show you what the assessors see in the Connect application. So you can see there the orange outlines, that's the GIS parcel layer. It allows Eagle View to georeference what they've captured. So there, I think you can see the roll number and the address. Different layers that we can add. I can look from the air and see the assessed value of the different properties. It's interesting to look at whole neighborhoods. And the first time I was involved in a property review, it was in an area that I didn't assess in. So it was really neat to see. I was working in Gimli at the time, and just to fly down the street and look at each house.
So that orange, that's the property lines?
Yes. That's what we provide to Eagle View, and then they put it over top of the imagery they have. Okay. So then the next slide, you'll see the building outlines in green, and the pink dot identifies a deck. So after they've taken the information and worked with it for some time, I don't even pretend to understand what they do. Steve, you probably have a better idea what they're doing, but they stitch it all together. They do the outlines, and on the next screen, you'll see a top-down view of a neighborhood in Gimli, and all those pink dots are decks. I believe the next screen shows you, they then give us the length of each side of the building. You can see in the middle screen, I can measure the pool, I can measure the deck, and in the screen on the right is the outline of the roof, but it's also an outline of what the building would be without that 18-inch overhang. So we can, every roll is reviewed to make sure maybe there's been a garage added, maybe there's something been taken off, but also to make sure that we have correct sizes assessed. Yeah. Change Finder is the next screen. It easily highlights properties that have been changed since the last flight. So this is in Selkirk. The next time Selkirk gets flown, they can pick out what there's something different on this property. We still review each one, but it's from the air. It's a quick view of something's changed there. So our 11th capture was completed in 2025. Assessors review every roll, just like a general reinspection, but instead of physically visiting each property, we review each roll using pictometry and Google Earth images.
So you can, in 2023, you had in Selkirk, like this area, there was something demolished. Like, do you go? Is that where you go right to the lot, like the?
So
Or
if we
it's just
can,
a general,
this is just a general overview, then there's another layer we can lay over. We can look at the last imagery and this imagery and say that garage isn't there anymore and we can remove it.
okay, oh, okay, or this garage has been
And
Increased?
and we
Yep,
didn't get a permit.
Yep.
No,
yep.
you can cross-reference.
If the permit is attached to the roll, I can go to the roll and look and say, yep, there was a permit. So,
what happens if
There isn't
there's
a
no
permit.
permit?
there are things that people add that don't require a permit. So we add
You
those.
would need a permit.
Yeah,
So
if
what would happen then?
we aren't in the permitting or policing, we are simply in the assessing.
So did you notify the RM or?
No, not in the case of a garage, no. In the case of a house, yes.
Oh,
Simply what we do is the supervisor saves up, for the whole project and then sends and says, we found, these in
Basically, the
this area.
municipality benefits anyway, because you found the garage.
Right.
And the taxes being assessed.
Right.
accordingly.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
So the next slide is a close-up of the capital region. So the flying has to be done certain number of square kilometers. So it would be fantastic to do, a lot of these smaller communities, but it just doesn't work out to have enough kilometers. Like Neepawa was big enough, Carberry just. So it works out that we can't do everything we'd like to do, but it would sure.
it's gotta be X population, like, or how many?
Density, just as they would fly whatever we like. We just don't get the return on it. And we get to that in a few minutes about the return on investment.
Okay.
So the next slide shows you what this year's flight was done. So for example, the town of Neepawa, 17 million, just shy of $18 million increase in assessment just from this flight. Carberry.
A lot of work going on in Neepawa.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. City of Brandon's a little bit different in that they fly every year on their own.
So you're stating that you guys found $18 million worth of work that was unpermitted?
Not necessarily unpermitted additions.
Since the last flight.
Well, in this case, Neepawa has never been flown. So what was assessed versus what was found? 17.
Likely a big jump, and you were basically going from way back to the present. You can assume in 2 years it'll be a lot more miles.
Yeah. Yes, I would say so. The other thing is that Neepawa, when we review each roll, we come across a 1960s house. If that house has never been sold and has never had a permit, which it could very well have never had, you can replace flooring and not have gotten a permit. We review that house and we know that house doesn't still have the same furnace it had in 1960, and it doesn't have the same shingles it had in 1960. So we apply what we call a baseline. So we know that some of your electrical's been done, but that baseline that we add brings it to those components being at end of life. So I might increase that roof to a 1985 roof, which means it's probably still at end of life, but I've brought it up in value. So I'm not just finding new construction here, I'm also updating characteristics of homes that haven't been visited because there was no reason to. If they haven't sold and they haven't had a permit, we haven't physically gone there.
Sure, the hospital in Neepawa, is that taxable? Or is that the exempt?
It's accessible. Accessible, yeah. I talk assessment, not
Yeah,
taxation,
you bet.
but it is, Chad, you would know better than I would, school tax exempt. And
Yes, usually they're school tax exempt, but not municipal tax.
Right, okay.
Yeah, sometimes there's municipal tax exempt, but not for local improvements.
Right.
purposes.
right,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
Number of properties captured. So this is just to show you that every year it's increasing. Nearly 165,000 properties utilize this process since 2015. And our largest capture was in 2025 at 32,000 that we've been able to do. The next slide shows you annual property reviews. So back in 2012, you'll see that our biggest mode of inspection was either office review or a field inspection. We physically went out there. About 2015, we started having access to MLS listings. We work closely with the real estate board. and they allow us access. So we're able to see basically the same as what you can see on an MLS listing, interior pictures, how many bathrooms, if you've improved your bathroom, because your MLS listing really does show the best of the best, right? You don't. Exactly. So you can see the blue, we added MLS listings, and then in 2017, imagery review, we started adding that. So we've been able to we still do field inspections, but like I said, it's pretty challenging, and especially in areas like this, we've got a lot of miles to cover between properties. We just hired a new assessor in our office, and we sent him to Selkirk. And his first day of training, he said, we inspected 30 properties. I said, oh, don't expect that out here. Like 15 to 20 is a good day. And he said they were back in the office by 3. So just the density of population in some of the areas makes it a little more feasible for people to drive around, right? So the next slide shows you a 3-to-1 ratio. When physical field inspections take place, an assessor spends 2 days in the field, driving to properties, walking around the site. He completes 25 inspections, where it takes the same assessor 3 days to enter that data in the system that's captured during the field visits. So an average 5 days, we would inspect 25 properties. Desktop reviews are resulting in 15 inspections per day, or 75 per week. So 3 times as many property reviews using the imagery versus a traditional field inspection process. So the return on investment, like I was talking about, so those numbers are average over the life of the project that we've undertaken. The average assessment change per property is over 6.2 thousand, 18,000 annual reviews using the imagery. It results in an annual tax revenue of over 1.3 million. And with annual imagery costing an average of 144,000 to about 190,000, the return on investment is over 900%. And it's important to note that this is cumulative. Those increased taxes of 1.3 million are not just for that year that we found them, but year over year ongoing. So the return on investment is actually higher. The last slide, or second to last slide, is just a little bit of an info for you. The mobile assessment interface, we're going to a mobile tablet system. Right now we inspect with paper in the field, paper and a pencil. So we're going to a tablet system. That this time next year, you should probably see assessors with tablets. Property assessment online. My property MB, I'm going to leave a stack of these at the front desk. We're encouraging everybody, council as well as ratepayers, to sign up My Property MB. All you need is your your client ID number, which is on your assessment notice and all, not on your tax notice.
Okay.
But both are easily accessible. So I'm going to hand those out. We want you to sign up for My Property MB. You can see what we have assessed. You can look at the buildings, the ages, whether there's bins you've got that we're still assessing that aren't there.
Okay.
You can also, 445,000 notices go out twice a year, plus your tax bill. And if we could cut down even on a little bit of that of paper, if people would get those online, that would be fantastic. So, and it's modernization, right? The CAMA system, the computer assisted for mass appraisal, is a huge undertaking. They're looking at replacing the system we use internally, and that's a multi-year project. They've been talking about this for 6 years, and it's still ongoing. So it's a big project, but it was part of what administration learned about with the levy, the assessment levy going up, is that it's helping to pay for some of these modernization techniques that are coming into place. And the last screen is just sort of an interesting imagery we found when we were looking at pictures. When Eagles view imagery, they actually flew over a swoop plane, and that's yeah. I'm not sure where that picture was taken.
Did you assess it properly?
Yes, very, very low from the last time I flew on swoop. Anyway, that's my presentation about desktop review, and it was just to bring to your attention that that was done in this area. On and all specifically, we didn't do the entire municipality, again, for reasons of density of population.
And you would have done that in 2025?
We reviewed it in 2025. So the flight was in 2024.
So we're due for a reassessment in 2027?
Yep. That's what we're about to talk about now.
Okay.
All right. If anybody has any questions about the desktop review. No?
So when I look at that and I see 75-25, 75% of the time you're on that computer and you're putting.
Yeah.
You know, the imagery that you've collected, and 25% of the time out in the field.
Right.
You get probably, you generate a way better report based on that, sitting on a computer, because you've got all the images.
Right. And we can do it in the wintertime when we can't get out and inspect. So you send out 2 assessors in the wintertime. 1 each, please. Thank you. 2 assessors in the wintertime, and you can inspect 5 or 6 properties.
Yeah.
Where sitting at your computer, those 2 assessors can do 30 properties.
Yeah. Sure. In one of your slides, you touched on business assessment, but
Yeah.
you said that's irrelevant for up here. Why is
Yeah,
that?
it's a municipal thing. Russell has a business assessment, and I don't deal with Russell, so I'm not certain why or what
And
what difference that makes.
What would it be? Like,
I don't deal with it, so I don't know. That it would be like a business licensing, I would imagine.
The gravel pits assessment?
Yes. There are active gravel pits and there is gravel on land. And those are different.
Okay, go on to the next part, impact and reassessments.
Yes. All right, so Vanna, if you don't mind. Thank you. So what you had first is the tax impact report. What Councilor Andrewchuk is giving you is basically a sample of assessment notices. Those are English French, of course, because we're government. And then they are also, there's a simple residential, there's residential with commercial, and then there's residential with farm, I believe. Yep. Doing there.
Okay, Dad.
Yeah, they're just a fictional. Yeah. Then, hot off the presses, I have for you your assessments. These are your 2027 assessments that you won't have received yet.
Oh, man.
I know. Our property, this is your property, or one of your properties. Yes. Thanks. Thank you. You're welcome.
Yeah.
Chat and I think. Oh.
Lucky me.
Well, I'm coming to appeal.
So assessment is the basis for property taxation. When values are updated as a result of reassessment, taxes shift amongst properties relative to their assessment increase. Tax impact modeling determines how taxes shift as a result of reassessment. Preliminary assessment notices are being mailed to owners today. So this meeting is to give council an understanding of the changes in advance of the owners receiving their 2027 reassessment notices. So for 2027, the assessment values of all properties will be updated to an April 1st, 2025 market value. When we talk about a reference date, we are always 2 years in the past. We look at sales up to and including April 1st of 2025 and analyze those to indicate what the 2027 assessment will be. So we're updating to April 1st of 2025 from April 1st of 2023. The property assessments were last updated in 2025. The updated assessments will be used for 2027 property taxes. So the objectives of reassessing property is equity, fairness, and greater ratepayer understanding. And that's the reason we're here to deliver this information to you. So this reassessment cycle, the province's taxable assessment was increased by 12.1 billion. And your municipality's taxable assessment was increased by 43 million. So you can see on the chart on page 2, single family residential, the change in assessment was 2.4% increase. Don't be alarmed by the apartments at 75%, because when apartments are a small number, when they increase even by 1 or 2, it makes a much larger increase there. Your farmland, you're looking at an increase of 41.8% for an overall municipal taxable assessment increase of 12.1%. So assessment increases or decreases resulting from reassessment do not necessarily mean tax increases or decreases. Property assessment simply provides the basis for distributing taxes among property owners. So your mill rates are set by council, by school division, and by the province. And the shifting of the three tax levies occurs between and within property classes when assessments increase or decrease relative to the average. So only properties seeing average assessment increases, above average assessment increases will likely have an increase in taxes. So the impact of reassessment 2027 on property taxes is shown on the following pages. I'm reading from page 3. And is based on the budget of 2025. And this is where it becomes a little bit confusing. What we're showing you, the impact of this reassessment for 2027 is using your 2025 budget information, because that's the last information that we have. So based on 2025 budget numbers, assuming the municipality has no increased needs or decreased needs or change of budget, the changes would be to the negative, as you see on the chart on page 4. So the graph below on bottom of page 4 illustrates how the property taxes of individual properties in your municipality will be impacted by reassessment 2027. So 44% would see a decrease. 34% would see increases greater than 10% and $100. And 22% would see increases greater than 10% or $100. So broadly speaking, properties with an assessment increase less than 12.1% should see a municipal tax decrease. And properties with an assessment increase greater than 12.1% should see a municipal tax increase. Page 6 lays out for you council's options to moderate impacts. You hear these every year, every second year at least, for sure. On page 7, the provincial property tax reduction strategies. So the homeowner's affordability tax credit will increase in 2027 to provide homeowners up to $1,700 toward their school taxes on their principal residence. We're getting a lot of phone calls about this, principal residence, because it used to be you got it off of any residence and cottages included, and now it's just one principal residence.
So it's your primary residence.
Yes. And beginning in 2027, the HATC maximum benefit will be reduced on properties with an assessed value greater than $1 million. We also note the farmland school tax rebate and the school tax rebate on farm properties there. So informing the public about reassessment 2027, we want everybody to go to the website, but we know that there are those who are unable or unwilling, but there's lots of good information there. We are not mass producing brochures this year. We found as we came into reassessment 2027, we had a bunch of 2025 left. So we don't want to do that again. So what would normally have come with your reassessment notice is not going to, but these are available online, and you can also print these in the office to have them for handout. In our office, when people come in, this is one of our primary handouts. So we're printing and having these on hand, especially when notices first start to come out. The first couple of weeks, it doesn't hurt to have something to hand somebody to better explain, because sometimes they're a little bit worked up when they come in, right? So that's a good tool there. Assessment fact sheets, it shows you there where those are located. Some very good broad, sorry, I'm on page 8, middle of there. Sorry, go ahead.
Do you have to apply for these tax credits, or they're automatic?
I do not know the answer to that.
Oh, okay.
The HATC, you have to have declared your primary residence. If you've been getting it in the past, you're most likely fine. It'll be on your tax notice, right?
Right.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
tax notice.
Yeah. And the farmland school tax rebate, I can't speak to that. I don't know how that works. The fact sheets are really good information, very basic. How does my assessment affect taxation? How do I appeal to the Board of Revision? All sorts of things like that. Your assessment notice, like I say, everybody's gonna be getting those in the next day or two. Open houses are being held across the province. We have many locations. Harrison Park is one of those locations. The schedule isn't in my folder, but it's coming, believe me. I think I have that here. Nope. We're holding in person in Nipawin and Harrison Park, and we're also holding virtual options if people want to. Well, actually, you can phone in. We can do a phone visit. We can do a virtual visit. You can come into the office, and we're going to have 3 days through May, June, July that you come in by appointment. 8 in the morning till 8 o'clock at night. We want to be as available to ratepayers as we can be, but do know that we're visiting here, and we're going to be set up from 10 till 2 on whatever the day is.
Just answering their question?
Yep. Yeah.
More or less educating people on.
It's a lot of that. Yeah. Yeah.
Gonna be here at the.
Yes.
municipal?
Am I here in this room?
Yeah.
Yep. Okay.
Are we renting space to them?
Gold taps. I saw that new bathroom. That's nice.
Yeah. They must have checked the place out.
That's true.
It never,
Right.
it never pays
We're
doing
not
extra
exempt.
profit.
We're not exempt.
So yes, we will be here for questions. If anybody wants to drop in,
What's your name?
you have my date.
No way.
It's
It'll be on the website.
it is on the website. It's supposed to be here in my folder, and it's
See in our website? Harrison Park website?
It'll be on their website right now.
I noticed, Shirley, there's been a relatively large increase for the farming community.
yep.
And it's probably been long overdue.
It's what land is selling
Yep,
for.
for sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
We
It's,
had some conversation in the past year, discussion on a permit for campgrounds on
Mhm.
their sites
Mhm.
specifically, not their outbuildings, not the residents or anything like that.
right.
Just sites.
Yep.
So I guess in
Thanks.
2027, you're flying over or you've already flown over,
Mhm.
you'll be assessing and everything will be updated for the tax on our properties in our community come 2027.
Campground assessment is a little bit of not a sticking point, but a little bit of an issue in that they are all handled differently. And that is because the municipality is in charge of how they are assessed. We assess them, but there are differences by municipality. And that's really all I'll say about that right now, because I'm not the one working on the campgrounds. But rest assured that's being worked on right now.
Okay.
Yes,
Thank you.
yes, you're welcome.
Okay.
We have our date, sorry, July the 3rd.
Yeah.
Yeah.
10 AM, July 30th.
Yep, I'll be here in the office from 10 till 2.
Okay, and any other questions? Been a very informative.
Yes. Which office are you
Minnedosa.
Okay.
Yeah, and my name's Lisa.
Oh, it's Lisa.
Yeah,
I thought
yeah.
you said Shirley.
That's okay. Shirley's been here in the past. You've dealt with Shirley, so yeah.
Yeah,
She,
Teresa wasn't sure.
Sorry about that.
yeah, no, that's okay. I've been called way worse.
It's farming, I guess, today.
Oh, yes, it's that time of year, isn't it? Yes.
Yes.
Is there any consideration ever on the assessment notices to provide your previous assessment? And now here's your new assessment, then people know if there's actually went up, because that's where we run into phone calls.
Yeah.
Saying, what was my assessment?
Last year, yeah,
It's like,
right.
okay, here's what it went up.
Right,
So
right.
Just
I can take that back.
Good point.
Yeah, I personally would like to see it, because then it means I have to go and dig and find. So the assessment, the taxes they just paid would have their old assessment on it. Their 2026 tax notice would have their old assessment
Yeah.
on it. So,
Just
but,
keep the year prior.
right,
I don't know what the difference.
Right.
It's pretty simple. You get a lot of phone calls on that?
yeah, we get quite a few.
yeah.
Good.
People want to be upset, but then they don't, oh, it really didn't go up.
So maybe it's better not showing.
Which is perhaps why they're not on there, yeah, yeah, but I will take that back.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Lots of room.
You
Yeah.
said Brandon flies every year. Do you update their properties every year then?
We use the information. We don't do an intensive deep dive like this. So the city of Brandon pays for their own flights in between. So the years that Brandon is scheduled, the province does the flight, and in between they fly on their own. We use it because we have a subscription for the imagery. So if somebody's building a house and is it complete or is it not, we can simply look on the computer rather than driving out.
What's complete to assessment if a house is done? They're living in it?
You would have, yes, you would have occupancy from your planning district if you're living in it, or 2 years after the permit date. So if you're doing it yourself and you're going to take 5 years, don't believe that it won't get on your roll for 5 years. What is in place after 2 years after the permit is taken out will be put on the roll, generally speaking. If you say, you know what, we're just going to be next spring and then and you're diligently working at it. But it's sometimes those people who drag their feet and say, well, the railing isn't on the deck. You can't assess the house yet. So we put on what's there after the 2-year mark.
Or 3 pieces of siding are on the
Right.
exterior. You got it, it's done. Basically, you're
Essentially.
saying.
Yeah, I can add that house without the siding.
Yeah.
The same with they say, well, my basement's not finished. Well, you may never finish your basement, or your ensuite isn't operational yet. Are you living in it? Are you having the benefit of the building? Then it's accessible, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Some of our municipality will never report, like other than Clear Lake, or I don't know. The rest will probably never be, like Sandy Lake won't have enough population, so.
Yeah.
Those are all in person. You still try to do those in
Yep.
person every second year?
We try to get to improved properties every 8 years. They are reassessed every second year. So if nothing's happened at that property, nobody's sold or had a permit, whatever the surrounding ones that we do have information on are doing, that will happen to those as well.
So if you're provided information on something that's happened in our rule, what time frame is it expected to hit the taxes?
It depends on what it is. We see a lot of we'll be looking for something in a rural setting on Google Earth, and you'll notice a shed, and you go and look, and and even if it's on a neighboring property, and well, there's no shed there, that's a significant shed. We better make a memo and go out to do that.
It's a Quonset.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. It's not a wood frame shed. It's a Quonset, or it's a sea cans. Sea cans are accessible. We're finding 6 or 8 sea cans in the back of somebody's yard. We'll make a memo. We'll be out, if not that year, because we're always working a year in advance. The following year we'll have an inspection. It'll get added to the roll. And then, so it's takes a bit of time. Unless there's something specific, we get direction from the RM that says, hey, there's a large project going on here. Would you please visit? We can make exceptions there, but remembering that we are 68 assessors across the province.
So Robert, if he notices work going on in our municipality and he's happens to be out on a Wednesday and he's got 6 concerns or projects that there's no permitting on,
Right.
he reaches out to you guys and notifies you?
He makes them get a permit, which then notifies her.
Yeah.
Goes on.
Yeah.
So he doesn't communicate with you, he just makes sure they get the permit.
Right.
Yeah, and the permit activates you guys.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. The permit is the reason why we go out.
Yeah.
A sale or a permit. So if we're driving along and see a cottage in an area that we know didn't have a cottage before, if we have an assessor who's familiar with the area, then I might, and often I do, send an email to Robert to say, hey, did you know that there's something going on in here? Because I'll look at the roll and there's nothing there. Like, is it just not entered yet, or are you aware? And because there's a lot going on up here. There's an awful lot.
Building going on.
Yeah.
I had a contractor stay at our bed and breakfast this past weekend. He's from Alberta. So we were chatting and I asked him, so in your municipality, how does the permit process and all that work?
Right.
And he goes, anything on the exterior, doesn't mean if it's a deck, a window, a door, siding, roofing, doesn't matter. If it's outside visible, permit.
Yeah, well, thank you for coming in. This has been great.
You're very welcome.
Like I said, we've taken a lot of time and discussed all this. So like I said, if we have any other questions, we can definitely reach out to you.
For sure.
See you that a lot. What's that?
We'll see you in July.
Yeah, exactly. You'll be here in
Good.
July, so
That's right.
we can bring your questions in.
Yep. The other message I would give you is that appeal is not the first step. If people have questions and they call you and they're all upset, the first step is to talk to assessment.
Yeah.
Appeal is sort of your last step.
Last
So,
step,
yeah. Yeah.
Have them come out and assess your property.
Right. Yeah, let's
If
look
you
at it
haven't
before
been.
we fight about it. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So, okay,
Thank
thanks for
you.
coming in.
Yes, no problem at all.
Sorry, Larry, we've taken a little extra time here, but you can come on up now.
I'm listening.
Yeah, maybe learn some extra today you didn't know.
Good morning, all council members.
Good morning.
I'll pass this out.
Okay.
This is basically, the overhead shot of the municipal shed and property side. And, also down and I'll talk a bit more about what I planned for the community.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
What I'm proposing is a welcome sign to Arnold. And, it'll be both sides will be used to be, you're coming into town. And this will, I would like to put this, if possible, on the municipal lot on the very southeast corner, if it's available. Right now, it's sitting there is, the noses of the plows, feed plow and the punch plow, whatever. So basically, and the reason I want to put it on this property because it will be turned over like the Elk Statue River project. It'll go under the RM umbrella for insurance and whatnot. The sign will have welcome to Arnold from coming to town and leaving, Arnold bids you farewell. So it'll be one sign do two things. Basically, the sign is about 10 feet high and 20 feet long. It's built out of square timber, 8x8, stacked, and it'll be like a lap. It'll be a half lap cut, so it locks in. It'll be on a concrete pedestal or base. It'll be like the letter I. Basically, you put a big wall up the wind, right? Waves been last while has been wild. So basically the top of the eye and the bottom of the eye will be approximately 6 feet, and the inside will be 16 feet. So I'm looking at the timbers are 20 feet long, and it'll go 17 layers high to come out to about 11 feet. The reason for that, the letters of the sign kind of dominate the height, because 2 foot letters, you got to start at a foot from the bottom, 2 feet, leave a foot, 2 feet, and so forth. So the letters are approximately, let's say, if you squirt 2 feet high, 2 feet wide.
Are the letters made of wood as well?
No, they might be like a plastic side, just a skewer. No, I haven't bought it because I haven't. The problem is I'm not putting the cart before the horse here. If I don't get permission from the RM, and if you do give permission, next thing is also sign permit from highways, because it's in that controlled area. So what I'm doing is just a verbal presentation now. I have a bit of a drawing. I have approximately the project will cost $20,000 for material plus taxes on top. So you're looking at $22,500. This is a big structure.
Yeah.
And it'll have a roof, 4 feet roof each side. And basically all I want to know is if council was willing to let me go ahead and use that corner, put the sign on, and then proceed to get a permit if it goes ahead from highways. So basically, if something happens and we go ahead, I will do another presentation and sketches and another thing drawn up. But basically, you're just putting a bug in your ear to say, you know what, I would like to go ahead and do this project. Basically, there'll be 3 people. Being so big, they'll have to contract it out because, you'll need a zoom boom or something to lift these beams up. And basically, I've seen the material sitting close to Prairie Concrete on co-op land in Minnedosa. Where they used some of that material was in the powwow grounds south of Erickson, next to the gaming center. That's where some of this material, that's where I got kind of the idea of this. Plus being out west, I see all different signs of every place. And, only little sign we got is the one at the Elko that we did the project, we did that. And so I would like to do a welcome sign. If there's any questions and whatnot.
You got a question?
I just
think it's very admirable to bring forward. Just wondering, you kind of addressed what your motivation is.
Yeah.
Just wanna make us more visible on the highway and promote economic development and that sort of thing.
What's your plan to fund this sign? What's your campaign?
Basically, it'll be fundraising. You know, like, 20,000 is a chunk of money. But, I'll go to the rec center and work with them for a fundraiser night. I'll do a live auction. Like, one person that's expressed interest is Jason Potter. I talked to him and I want him to work the park end. Well, he knows both inside. Well, he knows the municipality really well. He's one guy I'll go on, and then we need another person to be like a secretary treasurer. And then we work through the RM of donations that come here to get the charitable tax receipt. Was it $20 and over, Chad? You get a tax receipt?
Generally, we do that.
Yeah, so basically it would be just like Satellite Pier or the Elk Statue. Basically, the money would come here and be in a fund or a reserve fund for a project. And
You indicated timber, is that what it would be made out of?
Yes.
So is it similar to the timber that we have where the elk is, with those archways? and
Yes.
that? Okay.
Basically, yes, so those are 8x8s.
That's pardon me?
They're also like they're 8x8 with the walkway through.
Yeah.
Yeah. The other thing should happen, this is what you said, the elk, just for the bug in year, if they could stain the fence that's there to match what the new stuff, like
We got a plan there, yeah, there's matching tree to go there. Yeah.
So basically, that's all I'm doing is put the bug in here. If this council isn't allowed to go there, maybe I'll have to go to alternative, but I don't want to buy land. That's, I mean, we donated that little corner there, my brother-in-law and I, for the elk. And almost only thing was exchange of $1 to make it legal between municipality and us. So, and that's all. This is going to be my last project, and I
And it's a
think
two-way sign,
yes,
so you get the people coming, going north,
Yeah.
there's people.
yeah. There'll be lettering on both sides,
Okay.
and there'll be lighting, which is going to be solar powered. I went to Derek Minty, and he's kind of the guru of knowledge, and Amazon. Each light has got its own photocell and little panel, and they're about $200 each. So you're looking at 3 per side, and you will be not looking at the highway; they'll be tipping in at the sign. That be, I don't want no light shining in anybody's face going down the road or anything. So they'll be projecting back onto the
So if
littering.
we proceeded with something like this, so does it become the responsibility of the RM to
Yes.
maintain?
Yes, it's basic. The reason I chose this spot because try to find some lot land and on. I mean, when you get out and it's on the outskirts of town as you come in, and the level of the highway and the property that municipal should are pretty well. So you're not looking up. I was going to put it up on the corner here, but you're coming up, looking up on the hill, or else you're coming down. You're trying to look up this way. I'll try to catch people both ways coming and going.
Okay.
And basically, I'll leave that with council. If you decide if you're willing to accept the sign to go there, and then we'll proceed with highways for a permit. And then I'll make a presentation, and I'll have a handout. I'll get a guy from Southland Lumber I know that lives at Ditch Lake, does drafting and drawing, so I'll draw it up so it looks more presentable. But right now, without you can bring a house in town, but if you haven't got the land, you're screwed, right? So basically, that's what's happening. Need land, permission from highways, and then proceed.
Okay. Any other questions from council?
No, thank you for your time.
Yeah, we'll discuss it, and we'll staff reach out to you.
Okay, and on the way back, like somebody's going back to Sand Lake, basically you can stop the approach and you'll see where it is. It's there's a row of trees that run towards the old number 10. That's kind of the property line, I think, well, according to the drawing here. So, visit the site, please, and see what you think.
Okay.
And it will be done. Like I'll get contractors to build it because between Wayne Horn, Collier, and what's the name, Darcy Yuckinishon,
Yeah.
they can need some man strength and machines.
Mhm.
All right.
Okay,
Thank you very much.
We'll talk it over, we'll let you know.
Have a good morning.
Yep, you too. Okay, so we're back to 4.9. Back to that portion, and then we'll keep moving our way down here. Resolution to approve collective agreement. We're signing this, I guess, you read away, so yeah, gonna get a mover, get this on the table. Counselor Dreechik, seconded by Counselor Campbell. Discussion, everybody read it over, anybody, any questions?
Well, I will tell you, I sat in on the second day of the negotiation and it was very smooth. Good dialogue, good conversation, and it was much different than the previous time we did that. So it was nice to wrap that up in a matter of 2 days.
Any other discussion? Seeing none, call the question, all those in favor? Carried. Community grant, or community events grant, so this was something that we've been talking about, Council Langston, you brought this forward originally.
Yep.
Everybody read that over, anybody have any questions about that?
It's basically the same as the,
Beautification grants.
the
Yeah.
beautification, but this is more for activities.
Yeah.
Okay,
Somebody wants to put on something in the municipality?
Yeah, I think it's good. I think, you know, we're hearing people, it's hard to get things organized, so if we can provide a little bit of funding and drive tourism in our municipality, it's a good thing.
Yeah, we're starting to see a few more events up here at the rec center, which is good to see. We put some money into that building. The RM has given quite a bit, but yeah, I just hope that they can work on scheduling and make, you know, if there's a demand for it and motivated people, hopefully that they're working with the rec centers to make sure that they're, you know, the event space is cleaned and whatnot for the next event.
Just to be clear, this is for existing and new events. So I'm gonna
2026.
use Ride for Life as an example. If Ride for Life is happening again this year, they come in, they apply for this and they can put it towards hall rental or building picnic table or.
That's the way it's wrote right now. No, we weren't sure if it's for existing events or if it was to enhance existing events. Because there was some of that discussion.
new events.
Well, if you look at,
I'm fine. I just wanted clarification on if it has to be a new event or if it's something that's been occurring, can it?
so Councilor Draychuk with what he's, you know, we give a grant anyway, I think, for Ride for Life, don't we? Don't we?
We didn't this year.
Okay.
Some years we depend if there's something that they need, like,
Yeah.
or they needed picnic table, so they asked for one, but I don't believe they was.
But no, at least this way, if this is something that, you know, they wanna come in for, then we just don't give them a grant for the next, whatever council at the time feels to, and. I think to help out the volunteers, it's a big undertaking for them to organize events,
I think my
especially of that caliber.
thought process is, I like the idea of new. The existing's already here and in place. Anything new just creates more traffic, more events. But it would,
What do we earmark for this, Chad? Do we have did we make like an overall budget? Is it 10 grand or?
Yeah, somewhere in there, I think, wasn't it?
I don't know. I guess
I think we're money from the other one, didn't we?
Yeah, almost, I just feel like maybe we went like a little bit skinny on that downtown beautification. I just feel like, let's put 10 grand to it. If we just get steamrolled and want to kind of scale it back in the future, then we have that opportunity, but
what's a maximum, 1,000? Is that what it is?
And to me, like, it's costing more money every year to put on these events, even if they are existing, so that's where.
For sure.
I think, like I said, having it for both. I think is good, like new or existing, because at the end of the day, I mean, it costs so much money to put stuff on nowadays, so.
So the farm gate that was on this weekend, they would come in and
They could
they
put it in,
apply.
yeah, if they wanna, like, for hall rental or expense, they would get a $250 grant, right?
My opinion would be existing, no. Anything new, yes.
yeah, I'm fine with existing. I hate. I just think if we go too skinny, we get to a situation where people like, okay, they don't get it. Okay, we've gone through the process of moving in, and I think we just put our internal cap on it as 10 grand and. Try to spend the money, and if it's just used up within a month, well, then we can scale it back in the future. Just, you know, it's 10 grants of $1,000. How many events do we like have that would, you know, apply for it? I think that I think it's reasonable.
Yeah,
I think we should wait to see who applies. and what they're applying for.
Is there any,
If we're getting steamrolled, we can start scaling people back a little better.
Well, we could just say, no, we're not getting it because it's the same thing over and over, or I don't know.
I don't mind that, Councillor Campbell too, yeah. Cause if it is something that's just now it's competition with somebody that's already been running an event for a long time, well, then maybe it's not necessarily.
New and exciting and, yeah.
So new events only.
Well, no, old,
no,
old
no.
also, but it's gotta be something new to the old. You know,
So,
and they're gonna
Well,
apply.
I knew with Ride for Life, they brought a band in last year or a dancing group. So they would apply.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, if
And
they got
they
something
would get
new.
$1,000.
so I mean, we could say to add or grow, to start a new or add to an existing event, but. I just feel like if we scrutinize it too hard, then we end up
Well, I
not
know
getting
you're not gonna get
applicants.
anybody.
I like what you just said, you know, adding to an old or a new event.
Or an old event gets 5 and a new event gets 1,000.
I think we should just. That'd be the thing.
Yeah,
That's,
Okay, so do we wanna change it to start or enhance?
Starter enhance.
starter enhance.
So then this way, if there's an existing event and they wanna bring in something to make their event bigger,
Something that makes it easier for volunteers.
And it's gotta be a non-profit, correct?
Absolutely.
yeah, that's what it says.
Can we just make that, where would we add? Chat, change to add or enhance?
Yeah, we'll just change the wording in here, to add and enhance, that's the understanding we have, so if you wanna approve this today, we could.
Yeah, I think it should, I think that should get it.
okay? Everybody's good with that?
Only other one I'm wondering is like, should we make, it says must happen within 2026. Why wouldn't we make it to like March 31st, 2027?
It eliminates my curling bounce field this way.
Well,
So
I just,
I'd like to see it extended as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
right, we're saying right now it's 2026, but like, why wouldn't we make it fiscal 20?
It's already passed.
Gets us to March
Our
30th.
fiscal is the calendar year.
Well, then go to December twenty
No,
twenty-seven.
let's go to March 31st, just because then we got no man's land for 3 months and, those are important months to grow.
Especially
But
right
if-
here.
but if you do go calendar year, you're not gonna miss anything this year, and we
But
may,
then we might not have any money, then we get a situation where it's February and we've spent all our money and we're in no man's land.
yeah,
Let's go to March 31st, it'll just give us some flexibility.
I like that, that way you can, because the event, lots of times are planned already, just.
is the old timer hockey nonprofit? Do you know? Do you play it?
And then, Chad, if you could, we don't need recognition, it's fine.
No, we don't need recognition.
Okay, so amendments to it is, to March 31st, 2027, and to, start or enhance.
Starter enhance. Yep.
Yeah, you were done, yeah.
perfect.
Chad, or Tamara, you comfortable making those amendments?
Yeah, I think there should be recognition. I think if we are gonna give $1,000 for a community events grant, there should be a sign at least on their billboard or something that
Yeah.
says that. There was a grant provided by the RM Harrison Park for the event,
I'm fine with
and I
that.
think there should be recognition.
Well, for sure, yeah.
You know, I think a lot of places would put something up anyways, but maybe staff could come up with
Or you
a,
can print 10 positive sides.
yeah, or just a nice color photo of basically this with the logo and the community
Yeah.
grants event, you guys, they'll figure it out, but I think when you get the grant, everybody should get one of those to display at their event.
Yeah,
And I think it is
check.
important that people know that
We're spending money.
Harrison Park is behind
They're supporting this event.
yeah, and helping to
Yeah.
create more events, so.
I'm good with it.
And I would like it, I think it should be in there that it should be displayed and.
Public recognition.
Public recognition. Okay, so we'll add that in there as well. Anything else we wanna add in there? Can I get a mover to approve this as it's written? Counselor Dreechek, seconded by Counselor Langston. Further discussion? Seeing none, call the question, all those in favor, it's carried. Okay, we're down to number 7 now.
Yeah.
What's that?
2-minute break.
Okay. Okay, we're back to our regular session. Robert, we're up to 7 now. We're up to his portion now. Development officer report. Go ahead, Robert.
This is a building development officer report for May 20th, 2026. At the making of this report, we were sitting at 11 permits for 2026 so far. We had the 2 dwellings, 3 additions, 3 accessory buildings, a renovation, and 2 deck permits. We're sitting at 8 variations, a zoning bylaw amendment and a development plan bylaw amendment. I know it says 2 zoning bylaws, but we're sitting at a total revenue of $9,862.30. Over the last 3 weeks, been going through inspections. I got a couple new plans from the last variations that were done. They're working on their plans, hopefully getting started here right away. I know one of them is dealing with the public hearing mail outs as well, and we've been having some camper questions about campgrounds as well. So just kind of dealing with things like that.
Okay. I met with Gray Owl Condo Corp on Monday. They invited me to their AGM board meeting over here. They've asked if, when there's something being done in there, if the board can get notified for comments.
Yeah, I got that email as well.
Yeah.
What's an example of that?
Like if there's a deck or if there's a variation for size or something, just so that they, in case if there's something running there or there could be encroaching on something that where they have water lines or something going there.
Like after we had Biden's variation in there, that's what they'd like to have sent to them.
Yeah.
So
so if they have no comments, they just fly back, no comments. They're okay with it. This council has it on the record as well. So
Yep.
Do they need approval through their condo corp board to do any kind of work that they want?
No, they don't need
I don't think they follow it too much. They're more, they allow kind of us with our zoning bylaws.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they just want to, in case there's something running there, there could be whatever. They just asked for that. So I said,
We own those water lines?
no, we just own up to it.
Yeah.
And we have a meter there and that's it. It's distributed from there. So. Okay, any questions for Robert on this?
Just looking at your permit list, it was maybe on last year's permit list, but I was past Stewart Lake the other day. There's a new cabin on the North Shore. It's not on your permit list. Is it on last year's permit list or?
That's one that I have to go and take a look at, or on Stewart Lake. Yes, that is one that I have to go and look at. They ended up putting there and they didn't come in for a permit at all.
Oh,
So I have to go and look for that one.
You better get that on the to-do list. And while you're there, you might as well, I see they're doing some work on the new subdivision there.
Yep, we've been in contact with those ones, so.
Which subdivisions out there?
One we
The
approved.
bridges, yeah.
Okay.
So I was just by there the other day and I seen that they were starting work and
Mhm.
and that cabin showed up on the far side there.
Yeah. Yeah, we were working, I was talking with Chris the other week. He's just still working on some of his conditions, so he was trying to get a hold of for his historic impact assessment. So we're looking and trying to find the people who to get in contact with that one. So we've got him in contact with the right person. So he'll hopefully finish that condition soon.
Where were we last year on total revenue and permits, et cetera, compared to where we are?
Yeah,
Yeah, very
we've been very low. I can start doing that again. It's just because we weren't really at too many permits, but I can definitely start doing that again.
The cost of building a house now, I understand. why
It's expensive.
Going down, yeah.
Yeah.
All these new codes coming in,
Mhm.
that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
It is.
You know,
Yeah. I do have, there's 2 houses for sure that plan to come, but a lot of it's contractors as well. If you didn't have a contractor booked in the last year and a half, you're not getting one very easily. Yeah, so I know that there's a few that should be coming here soon. There's a garage, it should be starting as well.
So I've seen a lot that was getting cleared out on the north side of Sandy Lake, so there's a new house coming up there.
Mhm.
And
So-
that one's coming.
Yeah.
Okay, no, that's good. We'll go on to the move-in request. 7.2. I get an order to get this on the table. Councillor Langston, seconded by Councillor Campbell. So, Robert, have you looked this place over? Or?
Yep, so Rocheret is wanting to move a house in from Erickson, just south of Southville there. The house is 40 by 32 feet. It's just a single story dwelling, planned to be moved in onto a new full walkout basement. He plan to do an exterior and interior renovation, so it would be pretty well stripped. It is a 2x4 wall, or sorry, 2x6 wall. So the insulation will be able to come up to code, no problem. The front porch on those pictures will not be coming with the house,
Okay,
so it's just the
just the
rectangular
building
house.
itself, yep.
Correct. So yeah, those pictures, the siding is getting removed. A couple of the windows do plan on getting changed as well. They'd have to come up to egress, but I believe the majority of them do meet it. And yeah, I think the roof is staying, but the siding will be changing.
So
The roof is fairly
this
new.
applicant was the one that wanted to have like a trailer park.
That was a
So
plan
is
a
that
while
not-
ago. It's
that's
not
not
in the
happening now?
plans anymore.
No, it's,
Mhm. So yeah, that on that same lot is where it would be.
just looking at it the way it sits, it looks like the roof of that current dwelling there is over the property line. Is he gonna sell this house or is he just?
I believe he plans to live in it.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. But yeah, I just don't wanna have anybody coming forward if we need variances done.
Mhm. Yeah, the those property lines on this picture, like that's something like what Assessments was talking about,
Yeah.
taking the new pictures with the property lines. These lines are slightly out, usually more north to south,
So it's gonna be asking
Yeah.
him to
So
go.
and
that is a
Just to
garden.
Make sure.
and that's a garden. The house itself is,
Oh,
So
Yeah.
in other words, it would go south. That line.
pardon?
So in other words, that line might go
It
south.
usually goes south by 5+ feet.
needless to say, the corner of the house.
It's very close.
Yeah, so.
Very close.
Inform him that.
Looks like a-
house way over there. It looks, well, I guess the green there, my eyes aren't good, my hearing sucks, just
So
get
you
old.
said that's gonna be a walkout?
Yeah, the back, so that's a gravel pad there. I think I have it on
Yeah.
one of my pictures there.
The circle.
Yeah.
Oh, so he's just going like across the
Yeah.
road?
No,
It's just going.
Yeah,
down.
behind those trees and that, like, so that portion there, it's kind of really hard to tell, but it does slope back down quite a bit.
right.
So that's the old highway there too?
The old highway is pretty well where I was sitting on,
Is it
yeah,
is- So where's the access going to be to enter and exit?
pretty well at that corner where that, it looks like it kind of comes in and comes out. It'd be on that north property.
That road after hauling everything, it is.
So
It's a dilapidated road.
I'll go back to gravel, there's no way that's getting repaved in my eyes, but again, it goes back to the fact that the driveway may or may not be shared, who knows how they plan to do it, because I think it's a family that part of their family owns that other property.
Yes, yeah,
Just to make sure that-
there is an access, so where I took that picture of the yard,
Yeah,
there's an access, so that's what I parked on.
so that's not a ditch then in front.
There's a bit of a ditch.
I'm
Mhm.
I'm all for it, if they wanna move it in, that's fine, but I just wanna make sure that. Looking at the other house, and yes, that's the garden, but the corner of the house is on the property line.
It's very close.
Existing, yeah.
Did there used to be a home there or?
Just as long as they know that if
Sure.
there's any kind of transfer of ownership for either property, that there is quite a few requirements.
Mhm.
Because if they're utilizing the same driveway, that has to change. They
Yeah.
put in a road ditch there.
Yeah, and just on the south of that bush, there is an approach. That's where I pulled in on,
And just to know that that road's not getting repaved. That's
So
the
where's
worst
in there?
so.
or it seemed like there was an approach anyways.
Yeah, it seems like there.
Yeah.
And they would obviously have to put a well in.
Yep, yeah, they'd have to put a well in their
And
own
holding
septic
tank.
system. Yeah, actually, there is a
Yeah,
stub.
they were drilling.
There is a stub up there,
I saw the
so
drillers there.
I think on the other picture you might be able to see it.
Are we happy with the exterior of the
Yeah.
house?
So the exterior of the house is going to be like removed, the siding is gonna be removed. He plans to put like an off-white hardy board on there, so the siding is getting changed.
What year was the house built?
He said 87, I believe, 86 or 87.
Did a fabulous job on that bed and breakfast.
Mhm.
I can see him doing a really
Yeah.
good job. here.
I believe Wayne Horn is gonna be working on this one, I think is what he was mentioning.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so this is all getting stripped out. The pictures of the floor, of the underside of the floor are on there as well. The structure looks quite good. I don't have any structural issues with the house.
Okay.
And like I said, he does plan to gut it.
Got it, but he's also gonna do the exterior.
Correct.
Yeah.
So, usually council likes to take a security on these houses to come in. So I've talked with a couple contractors and they said average labor for like a hardy board is around $7.50 a square foot, which would bring it to about $8,000 in labor roughly for this build. And then for the size of the building itself, materials might be around 2,000 plus. So we usually, it kind of depends on prices we take from people. So
Security deposit around $10,000.
I think would be acceptable.
I like that you brought that up and you recommended that.
Yes.
I like the even that
Mm.
due diligence and finding out how much it should cost and to get it up that code was good work on that, because you know better than we do on how much we should take to make sure that it gets done. So thanks for that.
No problem.
Okay. So yeah, so that's how it's written, that it would be a security deposit in the resolution. Everybody's good with that?
Yep. When's he starting? Immediately?
I think it kind of depends when he can get a contractor start working on the foundation.
Okay.
So I know he wants to, I think the house might get moved onto the property and sitting there for a little bit while the construction is going. That might be the case.
When somebody does something like this, do they have to test for asbestos like we did?
That was talks about it. There's a couple tiles in there that that I mentioned in some of the pictures. They have the 1 by 1 inch square tiles with the holes in it. I said that due to the age of the house, even though asbestos was kind of getting phased out at that time, the suppliers were still allowed to sell what they had. So there may be asbestos. I did tell them that it would be good to get a test on it, especially since everything's getting removed anyways.
No, I was just curious on, is it part of the permitting process? Like
No.
when you go and look, do you have to? do
I
anything with that?
don't have to. We don't really have anything that mentions about asbestos remediation. If there is asbestos that needs to come out, then his builder should definitely be the one saying it as well. So, and I did talk to him, and he said he was having his contractor come and take a peek at it at the time as well. So,
But if somebody's okay with living with it, they can live with it forever. 'Cause
Yeah.
it just not.
it's like you're buying an existing house and living in it. But
Okay.
since it is getting renovated, everything would be coming out. So even before any of those materials come to our waste site, they would still have to be tested and made sure.
What's insulation in the roof, vermiculite or insulation?
I'm not too sure. I didn't really look up there that much, but
He's got
most of the
interior,
time,
so
yeah, everything's coming out.
everything's coming.
So-
So yeah.
But like I said, I remember Cody talking that any time demolition like this comes into the landfills, that they have to be tested and made sure that they don't have asbestos in them. So that's the only way that they would accept it anyways.
Okay, so we got the letter of credit in there, or whatever, letter of security that's mentioned for 10 grand in there. Anything else council wants to add in there?
No.
Perfect. All those in favor of allowing it? Carried. Okay, variation for woods. So this was the variation application that we heard a while ago. Can I get a mover to get this on the table? Councilor Langston, seconded by Councilor Strudlin. So everybody did this over. So in this resolution, can we add in that there be a legal survey done?
I thought we were doing that for everybody.
I thought that, like, to me, it just, because it's gonna be so close to the property line of the neighboring one, the neighbor one did have some concerns about fire.
Exactly.
It'd just be good to safe to sorry to add.
Well, that's
Are
right.
you gonna ask? So. How far away is our new zoning?
Our new zoning bylaw plans to say 5 feet away from property lines. The last ones that we asked for subdivision or surveys were anything less than that. So we had the few that were at 5 or at the like 3 feet, 4 feet, and where we asked for surveys to be done, and the one that was at 2 feet as well, we asked to get done. So this one is at 6 feet away from the property line, which is a foot more than what our new zoning bylaw would say, so.
Okay, well,
So, yeah, if he waits till our zoning, like how far out of the zoning do we have a rough?
We got signature from the minister, we have no idea. We've been trying to get a hold of the regional manager just to get a heads up, like when can we expect this?
So we don't know if it's a month, 3 months, 6 months.
well, it could be this year.
Mm,
We're hoping.
hopefully within a
Right.
month, yeah.
Well, so I'm just saying that if
If it's,
in a month
I know.
from now, he wouldn't even need.
He wouldn't need
to
it,
come
right.
here, so I'm not sure.
and it is within the 6 feet, so I don't know.
Like, what happens in those situations where when we do go to 5 feet, it's on them? Is that, like, who is? Like the property line, if the pins are not visible, it's just shot in the dark, is that how they kind of go with it?
We can, like, I can ask for a survey at any time, like if we're not comfortable with where the property line actually is. They basically have to, prove to us that they know where the property line is. So it being a survey or whichever, and, we ran into the one case where they gave us the site plan showing that this is where the house was and it's wasn't. That was in our Poplar Ridge one.
So we have that option to request the survey, even in our new,
But yeah,
development plan.
as the authority having
Yeah,
jurisdiction,
so
I do, yeah.
Okay, so I don't need to add it in there, then Robert, if he feels comfortable, then it's fine. If Robert wants to have a legal survey, you can ask for it.
Correct.
So I don't need to have it in there as a condition. Council good with that?
Are you comfortable with that, Robert?
Yep.
Oh, I don't.
Well, I don't know, I'm not sure how I was just asking.
Have
I
you
don't
ever
know how
found
we-
that the property lines are off in this area?
A lot of people say that they found the property pins on their properties, but a lot of the subdivisions in that area, each lot was not pegged when it was initially created.
Okay, then.
So,
this
yeah.
is what- We should have it done.
Mhm.
It should be done.
It's just
Yeah, in a lot of situations for sure.
good
Because
business.
it could be 4 feet.
Okay, so you want it as a condition or not?
Yeah, yeah.
I'm hearing 2 yeses. What's the other one saying?
Well, I mean, if our new bylaw is stating that it would be fine. I mean, the way I'm interpreting this is Robert has the ability to use his discretion. If he's not comfortable with where the pins are and doesn't feel that they can prove it, then he will ask for a survey, and so I guess my position would be, let's let Robert go do his job and go determine that if he's comfortable with it, great, if he's not, he's not.
Okay, Mr. Davies, you're ultimately responsible for this.
So we can't go out and find the pins, we can't go out and say, here's your property line.
Okay,
That's up to a legal, back to the land surveyor, that's the only one that can do that.
so that's up to
So
you,
if
Robert.
they file their application, like in the case of the Poplar Ridge case, they were building their house within our property and they start building it outside, it's on the property owner.
So do you feel we should put that as a condition, or that should just be up to?
I think good
Robert?
practice would be, if we're gonna be going down to 5 feet, a good practice would be that they have to prove that property line by a map of the land surveyor.
Yeah.
Within a certain amount of time. I think that would be good practice on our part. Otherwise,
I agree.
the first phone call the neighbor makes is to us, it's not to the neighbor.
Yeah, no,
So
that's
and building on my property.
And what about it's within 20 feet? So like as an example, they're really close on this one, but now do we need to also, because they're building something, do we need to get it on the other side?
Not if we're comfortable, with a lot of the imagery we have now, we know the imagery isn't out 20 feet.
Yeah.
But the imagery could be. out
Right, so but then where's the
Yeah.
threshold, right? Because
5 feet.
I know, but but it's like, it's also a lot cheaper to just get a survey down one line than it is the whole thing. So then if you're building a new one, but you're 40 feet away from your line over here, we should have some strategy or
This is only,
documentation.
this is only affecting one side of the property, right?
I know, but
Can
we should-
we
but if we're
put
saying
this-
everyone that builds new, because. So are we saying it's if you're within 10 feet of the property line, like how do we trigger that?
And that's, I was just gonna ask Mr. Davies if they could put that into a policy, in-house policy that states what it will be, when it will be, so that when somebody comes in and applies, rather than just be like, here's our policy, here's what needs to happen, you already know before it comes to us.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So,
Makes sense.
if you would like to put it as a condition on this one, because our policy obviously won't be ready, I'm fine with that. If you want to just let Robert exercise his ability, then build the policy and we'll move on.
That makes sense.
That way, this doesn't need to come to the council table when Robert can go out there and either make or not.
Yeah.
Is that fair? Does that work for you guys?
Cause you are right, Chad, that they won't be calling the neighbor, they'll be calling the office.
So you'll either work it into this or work it in, however you want, or you let us know.
Yeah, anything within 5 feet, 6 feet, it should be surveyable.
So we're not putting this condition, Robert can exercise his power and go out and get one done anyway. If he needs it.
You're good with that? Everybody's good with that? Chad, Mr. Deeds? Or do you want it as a condition for this one because you won't have a policy ready?
I think we should have a policy, then that way when a person comes to apply, they go, hey, you look, be aware of this.
Right, but you won't have the policy ready for this.
Correct.
Bylaw, so do you want it written in this one so that it's?
Yes.
Okay, so write it in this one then, and then from
This
there
would be a
on.
condition.
From there
Mover and
forward-
seconder, you're good with adding a condition.
That's just the north property. line.
What's that?
Survey of the north property line.
The north property line, legal survey of the north property line. That'll be the condition. Mover and seconder, you good with that? Okay. Anything else? Call the question, all those in favor? Carried. LED, a new deal?
I missed the phone call that I need to return, so I'm just gonna.
Okay, LED, a new deal?
We had some equipment issues, they're getting looked after, nothing major, just a bruise and fell apart. So we have Davies looked after it, that's about all that's happening, and otherwise it's pretty, standard.
Okay,
So everybody's aware that the broom did fall apart.
LED is Sandy Lake,
Yeah. Oh,
I'm gonna step out for this because my wife's involved in the public washroom one.
you want to speak to this chatter?
Yeah, I can. Cleaning, Sandy Lake washroom, public washroom and beach change house cleaning, we advertised that, because our tender was, or the contract was over for last year, we received 2 bids. One bid in the amount of $8,000 and one bid in the amount of $2,740. In accordance with our procurement policy, we awarded to the low bidder. In this case, the low bidder is Karen Fowler Drool. So we just thought we better notify council of that, so you're aware, and go from there.
Everybody's okay with that? Any other discussion? If you read the bids, it was not even close, so it's a no-brainer. Anything else? What? You need a resolution? No, you don't need nothing, because it was.
No, it's already been approved or given up.
Ian, you're good.
And then we had a minute, we had a meeting on April 20th, which I brought forward the minutes, and, yeah, so there was nothing new. We mostly went over the deck policy and, road repairs, and, yeah. We just didn't have the minutes, ready, because we had the meeting on the 20th. Nothing new in Sandy Lake. And I don't know about the policy for the boats, if there's any permits been.
Mr. Davies, I think, was working on some dock permits on the weekend. I believe.
Yeah, we've, the dock permits, have been working fairly successful so far. Anticipate maybe we're gonna get some phone calls here in the next week or two when the weather turns nice and some more start arriving, but.
There was one questionable one already arrived. I was
Like
told about.
somebody new just showed up and put a dock in,
No, we'll call it that.
or moved it too close to somebody else's dock.
One more thing on the LED, yesterday when we met with MTI to discuss all our highway issues, we did bring up the fact that we were looking at paving in Sandy Lake. And so we talked about possibly getting Main Street done as well. So, Mr. Davies is gonna work on that with the province as well. So
Oh, good.
it'd be nice if we were doing everything to lump it all together into one big project and, look, then the whole town would be done all at once.
Excellent.
So yeah. Anything from on?
Actually, I noticed, before the long weekend, our works department got the speed bumps out. And, I wonder, are those signs, are we doing anything on Barkley again with speed signs?
It should be up.
I don't know.
They're
Yeah,
up.
man.
They're up, I saw them last
Okay.
weekend.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, anything else you want to? Okay, water and sewer resolution for outpost campground utility agreement. Can I get a move to get this on the table? Councillor Langston, seconded by Councillor Draychick. So Mr. Davies, this was, they reached out because they were overcharged.
Yeah, so 50% of the campground is connected to sewer where the other 50% isn't, but the water is metered on the entire campground. Our understanding of Public Utilities Board rules at the time were we had to charge the sewer rate on the entire property. However, in talking with Public Utilities now, they said, no, you can have an agreement that with a person in a unique situation like that. For an agreement, okay, you're only gonna charge sewer on so much of the property based on whatever percentage, so that's where this is coming from. Further to that, the owners of the property requested a refund of the sewer charge from the third quarter and final billing, which would amount to $1,200. Our authority only goes up to $500 for any refunds like that. We would need council's approval for that, and we would roll it all into the same agreement at that time.
Sounds reasonable.
It was about $1,200.
Seems reasonable. Like I said, why would we charge them for something they're not using, right? Like they're not using it on the whole site, right? So now we can have an agreement that they're only billed for the sites that are there. Plus we can go and check if they hook any other ones up. We'll have the authority to do so.
So with that being said, number 3 on that agreement, they only need to give us 48 hours notice that they're going to be hooking up?
Yeah, that's just for us to be able to go and confirm that they actually hooked another site up, and then we just add it.
So they can just go ahead and hook up without entertaining us at all, but they have to notify us 48 hours and after the fact?
Yeah.
What-
Within 48 hours of connecting. It's all internal works there, so they'll probably shortly be connecting more and more.
Yeah.
Bringing on board, I think, instead of pumping out.
And all his water lines are 6-inch?
Nope, that is, I'm not sure the internal water lines. What they are.
Not our lines, right? None of
Yeah,
it's our
we
lines.
ended up master meter and that's it.
So there's not even fire hydrants there?
No.
Okay, so everybody's good with the agreement? Is everybody good with returning the $1,200 back?
Yeah. Move that.
So that's what it'll be, the resolution that we have a mover and a second report. Any further discussion? Seeing none, call the question. All those in favor?
I'll abstain because I missed half the conversation.
Sure. So in favor are Councillor Draychick, Campbell, Langston, myself, and Screwlin, and Councillor Schoolney abstained. So he was on side. So it's carried. Harrison Park Lagoon Assessment. So this is all the information that's been compiled about our lagoons in Sandy Lake and Arnold. Mr. Davies.
Correct. So I took the long report, broke it into a summary of the highlights for you. Basically, the Arnold Lagoon, we'll talk about that first. We are getting to the point of organic and hydraulic capacity. In order for us to get through and continue on, the engineers have recommended that truck loading beyond 23 tanks per day be diverted to Sandy Lake in July and August, which are the peak seasons. Then we wouldn't actually have to expand until we meet hydraulic capacity in 2038. That means that we should immediately be diverting or stopping any loads coming from our neighboring municipalities or Rolling River First Nation, and only accept truckloads from basically the Arnold or Harrison Park area as we move forward. Just a note there, we went through June to September of 2025 and we exceeded 23 tanks per day from the municipality 17 times. If with that, in the estimate for a new primary cell is approximately $4.5 million. It's a Class C estimate, and right now they're not anticipating that we need to do that if we manage our lagoon here until approximately 2038. So it gives us time to start getting things together, and as well as letting our services board know where things are at. When we go to Sandy Lake, the report's calculation is telling us we're at hydraulic capacity, but visually and operationally, we are not. We've installed a mag meter at our lift station to monitor the flows going there. Basically, if our daily flows average less than 33,000 imperial gallons, then we have sufficient capacity for future loading. And we're only using 30% of our organic capacity, so we do have the capacity to accept additional trucks. Approximately additional 45 tank loads per day could go to Sandy Lake. They suggest we continue to monitor both lagoons for our truck hauls, that we immediately start limiting on and on to an average of 23 per day with no sources coming from outside the municipality. The option to divert to Sandy Lake is there, which Erickson Clan William truckloads average about 7 per day, and Rolling River First Nation peak in July is anywhere from 4 to 10 loads per day. So we do have that capacity if we want that effluent redirected to Sandy Lake. I think if we are redirecting to Sandy Lake, we need to have agreements. And these guys need to understand that this isn't a long-term solution for them. They need to actively start finding somewhere else for their effluent, unless they want to partner with us, I guess, and expand the lagoon.
Exactly, that's where I'm at. We've been given a courtesy for a long time.
Very long time.
What the Erickson Clan William Council did to the previous council, basically saying the $6,000 contribution they were not paying, that was up to us to now charge, have the haulers charge an extra money and then us go and find it and trust the hauler. I'm to a point, and I've seen these trucks come up a lot here. I'm done with being nice. We had inquired about using their landfill, partnering with their landfill. And I guess, I don't know, did we see those numbers?
We went over them just orally, I think.
Okay, there was no neighborly friendship there on those, on that side of things, I don't think. They're gonna cost us a pile of money eventually by filling up our lagoons. And we have to worry about our own people, our own ratepayers. So I would be all in favor of them either partnering and supplying us with a considerable upfront fee. And then, or no, you can haul right to Minnedosa if they're willing to take it.
Or put a patio in your own.
Or do it themselves.
Do it yourself.
This has been 8 years almost now that they have not moved any further with maybe putting a splash pad in themselves. Not our responsibility.
So the way we keep count, it's just by their logbook.
By their law.
Well, and that's another thing too. Now we have to trust these haulers that they're being honest with what they're hauling up here. And 4 to 10, I would say it's definitely over 4. I know because you see the vehicle up here a lot. As far as the other ones, just due to the fact that, I'm tired of seeing it. I'm tired of seeing out of our municipality, other ratepayers dumping in our landfill too, filling it up.
Yes. You got a question, Councilor Langston?
Yeah, I think that overall, these recommendations, like, it's a lot better than I expected. I think the fact that we can get to 2038 without having to make a large capital investment, I think is probably.
There's lots of time.
Well, I don't know, I thought this was gonna be horrible.
Me too.
Yeah.
Personally, so.
We only get there if we shut them off, because
Yep.
otherwise we're there.
Well, you know what I was.
Right, but we have
So, so I have no problems sending everyone else to Sandy Lake. I think that we need our admin to do a really good job of kind of understanding what cost recovery looks like, and then also understand like lifetime cost recovery, right? So when this thing comes to the end of its life in Sandy Lake, like, we need to make sure that we're able to accrue enough that we're debt free, because we can't just let them borrow our municipal asset.
But the thing is, we don't want to be sending them to Sandy Lake forever. I think we need to be capping them now. Like, we send them all a letter that, listen, your trucks are going to Sandy Lake for whatever, 6 months, 12 months, whatever we say. And then that's it. You give them so many months to get their shit together.
I have an alternative idea. Let's find what our cost recovery is, lifetime per dump. And then let's just escalate it, because why not make a little bit of money off them? Because otherwise that Sandy Lake will never get to there, right?
Do we control that, or does that come from the utility board?
Well, the
fee.
utilities board sets the per load fee. However, in my mind, there's nothing preventing council from saying, if you wanna here's your access fee is whatever.
Right, so let's figure out what our cost recovery is, and then tell them it's going up $5 a year, $10 a year in perpetuity until you figure it out.
What year did our lagoon here get built?
1996.
30 years.
Here in Harrison Park?
The one in Sandy Lake was built originally in 69, and then it was upgraded in 2003.
So it's got a 42-year lifespan.
How many loads does Sandy Lake do a day? Many?
Off the top of my head, I'm not the wall.
Okay, and who would it be, Pew?
There's some Pew, and then there's stool bus.
There's who?
Stool bus.
Local.
It's a yellow truck.
Okay. Okay.
So I think, like I said, our first step would be, okay, we notify these two that you're not dumping here in Autumn anymore. And then we have to draft up a new agreement for your hauling to Sandy Lake by X amount of dollars.
We need to have
And
it.
then let them know what the escalation will be on an annual basis. So that it's like, well, whatever, if you guys don't wanna rush into it, that's fine, because we're at cost recovery
Yeah.
plus.
Yeah.
So to me, it's like, we're basically selling off this asset, making a little bit of money, because we've got a long runway. So like next year, we're making more money. And whatever, if they wanna come back to us and say, hey, we need to start thinking regionally, here's a proposal, like, great, but like, until that happens, and whatever, we can use it as a bargaining chip. If Erickson, if we wanna do C&D, then we can go back and negotiate this, but we have to match commitment levels at a municipal level. And I mean, they need to be looking at this on their risk analysis, that holy cow, we don't have a long-term agreement for our ratepayers for sewer, like.
And the best part is that we've got the report to back up why we're making this decision. It's not just off the cuff,
I
right?
think when you're letting them know it has to be detailed, I would hope that all the haulers get a detailed list too of why we're doing this.
Yeah.
Some may not understand, some will understand it pretty easily.
Well, their prices are gonna go up, probably.
Well, I know, but you know, when we started implementing the $20, we had a hauler come in here and ridicule council. So that's why I'm saying it needs to be detailed, so you can see that without us doing this, this municipality is gonna be.
We're gonna have to pay $5 million conservatively.
That's right.
Well, exactly.
Because we're being nice to everyone else. So-
Exactly.
So we
yeah.
have additional capacity. We're not absolutely shutting them down. We're just saying, listen, guys, we can't continue to subsidize your ratepayers. So here's where our break even is. And if you don't figure this out in 12 months, we're adding $5 a load and until you figure it out.
I say it has to be considerable per load.
That's right.
No, I'm saying we already find out what cost recovery is on the long-term asset. So that basically, even if we didn't escalate, but I mean, we have to account this estimate is in $2026 and in $2050, it's gonna be considerably more. So we need to keep ratcheting it up, so it'll eventually get out of town.
So we only know, our administration only knows based on their logbook, what's coming from Honorable, what's coming from Erickson, who it is, Rolling River or Pews, and there's another one, Royal Flush. So we base everything on their little logbook.
So it's.
So I could, yeah, okay.
It's based on honesty. If they don't wanna tell them, and this is the problem that our staff ran into, is that prior to 2016, it was a $6,000 annual contribution, which was far low anyway, from Erickson Clan Willing. The council that got elected in there at the time said, nope, we're not paying that, leaving their rural ratepayers without a land or without a lagoon, which I don't know how it's possible and why they didn't get uproar there. But I think we got more uproar here from it, even though that's their responsibility. So
The good thing is we have some time. Cost recovery is important. moving forward. And we need to notify them immediately that you're not dumping here.
Absolutely.
I just don't know how you track that, because if I owned that truck, everything would be coming from Honorable.
I think
Well,
that they just need to understand that
We're filling up.
it's like, you like doing business up here?
Yeah.
Like, if it's risky to be pissing around, because there's a chance that if we find out
You're
someone
done.
happens to see you leaving,
Yeah, you're done.
you're done,
We,
and then your business is worthless.
we have had those calls before of, missed, but,
Well, so what are you figuring out there?
Well, do we get like $4,500 a month from income from the haulers? At $40 a load?
It'll be 100.
Is that what they pay is $40?
No, Jeremy's trying to do cost recovery analysis.
Well, we've charged $40 a load, right? That's what
We got it, everything's on spreadsheet. Every load that we got last year's wrote down that we have from
Yeah.
Honesty is on a spreadsheet. We can easily pull which hauler it was, where it came from.
I mean, there's a decently simple solution. You take a WhatsApp photo before you leave and you send it in.
Yeah, isn't that the trick, eh?
Like, it's
Then you've got-
geotagged. I don't know, it's not that complicated.
Like this one's gonna make 42 years. So at 4.5 million, that's 107,000 a year. If they're using 50%, that's 107,000.
Why 50%?
Well, cause I think between the truckloads going in there, 50% of them will be Rolling River and Erickson Clan William.
Yeah, okay.
Maybe it's not 50, but I don't know how you ever figure out where, we're 4 to 10 truckloads a day. Well, that's a huge variance.
Yeah.
Like, is it average 7? Is it average 8?
And
I'm
they
just using, cause
You're trying to rough.
I only have rough numbers, so we need $4,400 a month coming in from outside our municipality to cover 50% of the 4.5 million. Which I understand the asset didn't cost us 4.5 million, but the new one's gonna cost us 4.5 million if we built it.
today's cost,
Um,
it might be more.
so.
Well, and they know
I'm
exactly.
Trying to figure out if we divert or if we give 3 months and. Call it, I mean, I don't know how Erickson Clan Williams been trying to build a splash pad or a new lagoon for 8 years and they're no further ahead, and I'm not sure how they expect us to
That's what I say.
save $4.5
Well,
million.
the other outside,
You bet.
the municipality, the hauler, you tell me 4 to 10 loads, you don't have a documentation that says we've been up there 15 times, like.
We have all that. I just didn't,
Yeah, but-
I didn't go through and count and do the
Yeah.
average. I just quickly looked at when 4 to 10.
But they know exactly how much.
WhatsApp. You would know every day what's happening.
Well, it's a starting point.
And with Chris, you have to book with him. Like, you just don't phone him today and he comes rushing over. You have to kind of book with him.
I don't think that we should just I think we need to be realistic about what our costs are. I also just don't think we should call our neighbors and just say,
Yeah.
it's like, we're gonna wanna go back to them and
Yeah.
partner on something
Yeah.
and
You gotta
we
be
need to
fair
real.
and reasonable. Yep.
Well, but what is fair though? 3
I know.
months not fair.
I know.
No, I agree.
We're obviously at max capacity here.
I'd say go to
Chances are we
Sandy
can't
Lake
Take it.
Go to Sandy Lake and do it at cost recovery.
How do they access Sandy Lake there? Do they have our wayside has,
It's just a manual gate right now.
And I mean.
and it's closed every day? And the guy that goes in has to open it?
Supposed to be.
Okay.
So it's supposed to be.
So,
We really don't have a whole lot of control on that.
The option is there's hydro right there. We could go into a van or automatic gate and somehow have a counter system on it of how many times this clicker will.
you could also put a solar panel on it, solar trail cam.
Yeah. Yeah, there's alternatives and I agree with you. We can't just say no, but we have to say no up here.
But is that on us? Right?
No,
Do we need to spend $10,000 on an electronic clicker system for the neighbors? We don't need it for ourselves.
No, we don't.
So that's where you go to them and you say, okay, here's the deal. You got 1 month left in nominal, we'll divert you to
Yeah.
Sandy Lake for 3 months.
And they're fortunate
But-
for doing it.
But we need $15,000 up front to put a gate and a clicker system in so we know who's going there. Cause if not our people,
No, you're right.
so why are we charging our ratepayers
That's right.
15 grand to?
I wasn't advocating that. I was advocating for cost recovery.
Yeah.
So
what is cost recovery?
we're not gonna figure it out in 1 minute while we're doing a council meeting. We send it to our admin and they do cost recovery and they bring it back to us.
Okay, sounds good. I would
But in the meantime,
We still have to meet with them.
But this can't be on the back burner. We need to look at it and address it here very
Because it's
soon.
already made.
What do you think, Mr. Davies, in your, like, what, I mean?
I think immediately we can't accept here.
Yeah.
Okay.
We can, as a courtesy, say, look, we're reviewing the numbers, but you need to start going to Sandy Lake. Then we have to look at how we control where it's coming from. Because it's on our system right now, so just because there's a truck up here, we don't automatically assume it came from Harrison Park.
Let's,
So there's some options I wrote down here, just quick things we have to look at, and I understand. We say we don't need to install a gate because if it's coming from here, it's okay, but we can't guarantee it came from here.
Yeah.
There's
No, we
some
can't, but it
subdivisions
just-
very close that it could be coming from.
Yes, and you're always gonna get that, unethical drivers. Are charging, they're upcharging the $20 or whatever number it is from Ditch Lake, and they're just pocketing that. The ethical drivers are telling us, and there's no way to change that, you can't follow them around.
You can do it once a quarter. Like,
Do what?
monitor it.
How do you monitor it though, cause you
You
can't,
just stand at the dump, you park at the dump, and when someone goes, you just follow
For the local.
so we basically hire or
them. All
spend the hours.
commissioners. I mean,
We spend the hours of one of our landfill attendants to do this, to actually stand there. And,
well, it's better than what we're doing now. We're doing
well,
nothing.
absolutely, like, we gotta come up with a way to,
Well, we know everything from Rolling River is coming from Rolling River.
yes,
That's the easy one.
Well,
We just-
such I think is coming from here. I don't know if it does or.
well, and that's the thing is that, now I know these are just in. You know, I'm not digging at that 40-10, but I am digging at it. They know exactly how many times they come up here a day. I've seen them up here more than 4 times on a repeated basis,
Different
so,
They got a variety of trucks.
yeah,
Couple for sure.
so. I think they're told immediately, obviously, just like Mr. Davies had said, is. No more hauling outside from up here, or to up here, and then. We can accommodate
That's it.
temporarily going to Sandy Lake, but Sandy Lake's gonna have the same issue too eventually, so. We're not here to be
But if it says,
gifting.
if it says we have 45, the ability to accept 45 loads. The way I think about it is we have this like completely underutilized municipal asset, so why don't we just mark it up and make some money?
I'm not against that. I just want it to be.
Yeah.
This is their problem. This is their ratepayers' problem. It has to be significant. For me to want to accept it. It can't be minimal. So I agree with you.
I just didn't think we could, based on the lot that. Yeah.
And I don't know how people wouldn't understand is that every ratepayer in Erickson Klein William that has a septic tank and needs a pump needs to understand that this should be on the backs of. Harrison Park ratepayers. Who supply this.
Right. Okay, so I think the first step is, like I said, we'll notify them, we'll notify their council. We'll notify everybody that this is what we're doing. And then I think for the next meeting, we'll have some cost recovery numbers, Mr. Davies, and some options that we can do.
Yeah, we'll reach out to some of the larger centers and see how they control access to their wastewater lagoons for truck hauls as well.
Yeah.
Just see.
So we'll put some things together for the next council meeting. Council can think about if they have some ideas, they can let staff know. And we can go from there. But in the meantime, that we're clamping down on dumping here. And they can go there, and then we need to put them on notice that things are gonna change.
And Rolling River at the end of the month, they have to go to Sandy Lake.
Yes.
Right?
Which like isn't that big of a deal.
No, it's not.
No,
Should have been sending them there all along.
Well, it might be a deal because we got.
It's the same distance
On
though.
yeah, but I'm talking about there's a lot of people in the summer in Sandy Lake and we don't need 10 trucks coming through wrecking our roads and stuff unless they go around.
Yes.
sending around.
They'll have to go around.
Sandy Lake.
Just where you're heading.
Why would they go? Is it?
Okay.
They gotta go right through town to get to the lagoon
I've
Or
never
they go
seen,
where the West Collins.
or else they go past.
we don't
it.
have.
No, it's not.
Do you?
No, it's not to town. Oh,
Yeah.
No, it's right through
so I
town.
think that'll be one thing is they'll have to have a dedicated.
Or,
They'll have to go through the bins.
Okay, so that's
Yeah,
what
just make sure and remind Cody that. In 20 years, we are gonna need a cell, so when he's digging clay. Or the landfill to dig that cell. That's just makes sense if they can.
Mhm. absolutely. Okay, any other questions on this? All right, moving on here, we're on to 14, communications. The AGM minutes, everybody read that, anybody have any questions? Northwest School Division email and letter. RM of Alexander June District Meeting Resolution, so I think they're just looking for support on this, is that it, Mr. Davies?
That's correct. They're asking if we would consider passing that one as well to go to our June district meetings, actually the next three. Provincial Radon Action Strategy, City of Dauphin, and the Canada Student Loan Forgiveness Program arm of Yellowhead.
Yeah.
So if council so chooses and wants to support those resolutions to go to the June district meetings, they are listed in new business there if you want to do those or not. That's up to you.
Anybody have any questions about those three resolutions?
No, it's fine.
So the radon one, we're putting a little heat back on the province on this, correct?
Yep.
And as for the veterinarian one, I'm surprised they even missed that. But they did.
So it's just bringing their attention to it.
Okay.
And then the RM Alexander one to me makes sense as well. I mean, the way it's written right now, you can only kick them up for one meeting and then they gotta come back, right? So. Okay, we'll go on to new business then. 15.1, resolution to amend section 152 of the Municipal Act. Can I get a mover to get this on the table? Councillor Langston, seconded by Councillor Andrejchik. Everybody read that over. Anybody have any questions or comments about that?
Mr. Davies, can you?
Yeah, the arm of Alexander ran into some issues, I guess, with a ratepayer and banned him from all council meetings. Ratepayer took him to court and said, you don't have the authority. Judge sided with the ratepayer and said, no, you don't. The act only allows for removal for a council meeting and not multiple ones. That's where this is coming from.
We've never had that problem.
Oh, I don't know, we never.
Yeah, I don't think we've ever banned anyone from a council meeting, but
it does give you the power too, if there's, you know, a constant nuisance person at every council meeting. Like, I mean, yeah, you get it that people get heated in a meeting,
Yeah,
but
There's been a lot over the past couple of years, just because I'm sitting on council, I read what goes on. And, you know, another RM had somebody that the public was videoing. All heck broke loose. They've had RCMP there to prevent the guy from coming in.
Yeah.
But you can't. He can be removed for that meeting. You're right. He can come in for the next one.
yeah, so there's been a lot of, like Councillor Scriveland said, over the last probably 3 years, court cases. There was one for member of council that was disqualified. There's, I think, the ongoing one of Springfield
Yep.
with video recording. There's been this one. There's been when the RM of St. Andrews changed the chair of the council meetings.
Yeah.
A lot of those that have come out, if you were to ask a lot of administrators, we would have interpreted them the same way. However, the courts are interpreting them completely different. So
so we need to change the act.
it's a good thing to review the act every once in a while. Hasn't been done since 1996 when the new act came in. So
Yep.
there are changes. There's stuff that has come into play since then.
yeah.
Absolutely.
It's been 30 years.
Yep, I approve.
Okay, further discussion? Seeing none, call the question. All those in favor? Carried. Provincial radon strategy. Can I get a mover to get this resolution on the table? Councillor Andrejchik, seconded by Councillor Campbell. So this is backing up what Dauphin's asking for. So our area is kind of supposed to be high. Could be high in radon.
It could be.
So
Yeah, no,
the
it's
second
straightforward. Strategy.
was called cancer. Further discussion? Seeing none, call the question. All those in favor? Carried. And resolution to support the student loan forgiveness program. Can I get a mover for this, please? Councillor Langston, second by Councillor Campbell. So this one is brought up by Yellowhead.
And it's for all, I knew.
So it's to advocate the government to amend the Canadian Student Loan Forgiveness Program to include veterinarians and animal health technicians who commit to practicing in rural, remote, and underserved communities as eligible professionals for federal student loan forgiveness benefits.
Like, would that be, if that gets passed in June, goes to the government, the
Yeah.
province, would that be for like something in 2027 going?
Could, be potentially if the government, yes, no, it won't be for back. It'll
Yeah,
be for
okay,
future,
moving forward. Got it.
if they agree to.
And it's for all student loans, like.
Well, right now it's,
Teachers, childhood educators, social workers, dentists, dental
Yeah.
hygienists, pharmacists, midwives, psychologists, personal sport workers, and physiotherapists, and veterinarians and animal health technicians.
Okay, but not nurses.
Yeah, but they're not on that, they wanna add that.
they want to add that, so it's
For
for
healthcare,
those
okay.
professions, healthcare and social service professions.
Okay, cool. Now I got it. I couldn't understand it.
And that's where we've gotten to
So I think
as
10
a
grand
country
to go to school.
and as a province,
Leave it.
that we need some of the most important people.
Yep.
It's absolutely pathetic of what this country has turned into.
100%.
And the taxation of this province, it mind boggles me.
Cause if you go retroactive.
These are important people.
Yeah.
But
And now we
even-
have to
even
go
if
and
they cover-
subsidize and try and get them to come.
Even if they covered half their loans, you know,
We're asking for forgiveness.
yeah, so this is like, well, you know, you're looking at like $30,000-$40,000 for a vet, maybe more.
Or probably
More.
more.
That's a lot of student loans too. I think the
Probably more.
students should be responsible
That
for
would
some.
probably be your
Percentage.
The vet would probably be more 80 to 100, depending.
Be
on-
same as a dog thing.
Yeah.
Even
Yeah.
years of-
Even if they would cover half, would be,
I'm pushing my grandchildren to get medicine.
well,
Yeah.
but there's other people that have loans too. They're
Yeah.
important. I think everybody's important.
Okay, further discussion? Seeing none, call the question. All those in favor? Carried. Okay, bylaws now. Still got, your second reading of bylaw 179 to amend the zoning amendment. So this is for the one in Sandy Lake that we talked about earlier. Can I get a mover for this, please? Councilor Langston, seconded by Councilor Graychuk. Nothing out of the ordinary here. There was no concerns from any of them, so I think it's safe to move it forward. Mr. Davies?
Yeah, there was no objections. I think you can proceed with second and third reading if you so wish.
Okay,
So what happens if we hear back from the one department, the government department that sends something in to us?
we have the authority.
Oh, do we? Okay.
They have the authority to do whatever they want.
Perfect.
Okay. Further discussion? Seeing none, call the question. All those in favor? Carried. And then we can do third reading in the same meeting.
Correct.
So of the same bylaw. This is the recorded vote one. Can I get a mover for this, please? Councilor Langston, seconded by Councilor Scrutland. Further discussion? Seeing none, call the question. All those in favor? Carried unanimously. Everyone's in favor. Perfect, thank you. Resolution for the second reading of bylaw 180. This is for the tax levy bylaw from the last council meeting. I wasn't here, Mr. Davies, so can I vote on this one or do I have to just abstain from this one?
You could vote on this.
I didn't vote on the first
The
reading.
financial plan was approved by resolution.
Yeah.
It just forms an appendix to this to set our tax rates.
Okay, perfect. Can I get a mover to get this on the table? Councilor Langston, second by Councilor Campbell. Further discussion? Seeing none, call the question. All those in favor? Carried. And third reading of the same bylaw 180 for the tax levy bylaw. Can I get a mover for this one, please? Councilor Scrutland, seconded by Councilor Graychuk. So this is the recorded one as well. Further discussion? Seeing none, call the question. All those in favor? Carried. Business arising from delegations, so we had our tax service one there. Everybody make a note of the date that should be back in the office.
July 3rd.
July 3rd. The third,
Friday, July 3rd,
from 10 till 14, until 2.
10 to 2, yep. And then the sign, what's everyone's thoughts on giving up some property to put a sign up?
I think it's solid. I think, you did a great job on the elk. That's, made a big impact on our community and, I think as long as we get that look at it before it moves forward, that it should support our ratepayers that wanna do good things.
I think I think he needs to bring the rendering back, what it's gonna look like, I'd love to see that. Only thing is like line of sight there,
That's
when,
highways issue.
yeah, but for staff leaving the shop,
They'll have to go and assess the situation.
Yeah, we got to look at it.
You don't just put a 20-foot billboard in front of your access in and out, so as long as when Mr. Davies and staff go and look, that it's okay,
Even if it's on the other side of the road.
Based on what he's provided, his conversation with us, that sign's gonna pop, because there's not much lighting in that area in the evening. But you are right,
you
I
just gotta
don't,
make sure that you can,
it's legal, and it's
that it's visually, you can see
safe.
it.
Yeah. It'll be whatever highway safe.
Depends how high it is and there's lots to factor in, but. As long as when they're coming out with a grader or whatever, but you've gotta remember, they got a nose on and they're quite long, so you gotta be back quite a ways, so. They'll have to, as long as that all works, then I don't see any issue with it. Is there any COVID money left, Mr. Davies?
No.
It's all gone, all right then.
We had
And
budget.
instead of solar lights, I don't know why we wouldn't bury a
line.
power line to it and put real lights and
Stuff at the door.
charge it off the top.
I just let him come back with the pitch and.
We could,
The third is, I'm not sure what your sight line is from the north on a sign that says farewell. Down.
Could have to take some.
Well, that's-
trees out.
yeah, to get it close enough that it's visible, you might be hindering our trucks coming in and out and. Like we're coming out of there with big equipment, not the cars, so.
Yeah, I know. That's what I mean.
And so is, so it's alternative, right? They're coming in and out with semis and loaders and all the rest. It'll need some thought. It's a great idea. Don't, take that away from them. It's just a matter of the line.
I was kind of thinking when we had our dialogue here. It is a great idea. It'd be nice if we could get somebody in Sandy Lake and Newdale to work with him, and we do it in all three communities.
Oh, yeah, like we're looking, the LUD's looking at putting a sign, but not before, we're looking at, on the highways. Before,
Yeah,
like on the 16 and.
Maybe I'll just-
whatever, those are details that they can work out, but it just. It's good for Onondaga, it'd be good for Sandy Lake, it'd be good for Newdale.
Oh, absolutely.
New Deal's got a great big new sign.
It needs to be. Pick it up again.
Yeah, so we'll wait to see what his plan, his actual drawing is gonna look like and where his location is picked out, and yeah, he can start exploring things with highways and go from there.
Well, I think,
No,
Mr. Davies and staff need to go there first and before he does any drawings. and
yeah,
see
he
if
said he's not gonna
see
do it if it's not gonna get approved.
So that's, you almost need to
It's a
go
pretty
and,
low ditch there too, isn't it, Chad? It looks like,
It's a deep ditch, yeah.
and that other access, is that for,
Alternative right here.
and tell me something, did they move their lot forward a bit, and they got a whole bunch of now, I see a lot of gravel and topsoil and everything in behind it?
No, they've just been stockpiling and.
Okay. So I've not seen that, I can see the path now, the trail, they've been stockpiling. So they've got a lot of work going on up there, obviously, this summer.
so Mr. Davies will fit with Cody and Lloyd or whoever and make sure that. Good with that, Mr. Davies? Yep. Cause it's gonna be a big sign. Hard to see around.
Yeah. Council's privilege. Councilor Screwland.
No, I basically, it was nice to see lots of people up here on May long weekend. The weather was not, great, but it still brought lots and lots of people. Other than that, there'll be lots of activity coming up. Our roads are going to be in good shape in the next little while. And, that's it. Have a safe summer.
Thank you. Councilor Spaulding.
Nothing.
Councilor Langston. Councilor Campbell.
Berkshire Legion is having a fundraiser for the Mendoza Hospital, new autoclave, the sterilization machine. On June the 5th, AJ's Catering Prime Rib, $100 a ticket. 8 at a table, can we buy a table? Municipal Act in Harrison Park, all of us go. To support.
You could buy us some dinner. Sure.
Well, I'm going, I just wondered if we could support them, the Legion, and
What date did you say it is?
on June the fifth, Friday.
Oh, that's coming up real quick.
Yeah.
No, it is quick, yeah.
If you want tickets, if we're not gonna do a group, tickets, Sharon Nealon has, tickets available. I think they're going pretty good. Have you heard anything from is Sandy Lake Legion going to support them? You haven't heard? Okay, yeah. Anyways, it's out there.
Okay.
It's a good fundraiser and it'll be a great supper if AJ's doing it.
Exactly. Okay. What time does it start, you say again?
I'm thinking 5.
Okay.
There's posters out, yeah,
Yeah, I haven't seen any posters yet, but I'll look for them.
they're on Facebook.
Okay. Okay, anything else? Councilor Drigchick? Nothing. Okay, for me, just, yeah, I met with, Gray Owl group there on Monday. A good chat, just talked about everything. They had a few questions, nothing out of the ordinary, basically. So it was good. They invited us back to, if any councilors want to attend the fall meeting. It'll be in September, on the Sunday of September long weekend. So if anybody wants to attend that, there'll be a formal invite come out, but they invited us back if we want to go. And then, yeah, yesterday MTI discussion went well. We had them out, and then AMM Vice President Scott Phillips brought them out. We talked about 45 highway, we talked about 250 highway. We talked about number 10 and how, you know, our development there got shut down. And I took them for a drive after the meeting and I just showed them how, like, Onondaga is expanding south and we're gonna have to look at that. I showed them, like Mr. Davies pointed out, all the speed zone changes and all the way through there. And they're like, yeah, that's a lot. And we also talked about 354 and the walking path there. I took them for a drive that way and I showed them that we need to look at doing something there as well, make it more pedestrian friendly. Yeah, so that went good. It was good meeting.
So when is, they're gonna have some responses to your?
Basically, we're working with them. That was kind of what.
Your plan? Are we on the 5-year plan?
We're just working with them. That was kind of what they said. That was their key word yesterday. So I think we just need to keep meeting with them. Keep reiterating a lot of things. We did talk about the PR road contract as well. That was the other thing we did touch on a bit. Because that's gonna be coming up for renewal in 2028, so. With gravel going up, it's gonna significantly impact that. Could impact that contract for sure.
Are they the ones that are also responsible for all the signs?
They do the signs on our PROs.
But they don't do them.
We talked about that.
Yeah, and they know that's an ongoing issue that they're working on.
Then they talk about the hill on 270 or the culverts under the PR roads that we can't get replaced.
Yeah, we talked about the red tape that they have on the PRs and we also talked about the slide on 270.
Yep. What did they?
It's not on the radar to even do anything on that slide. And
Anything on the radar? Any paving, like was there anything good come out of it? Did they say that, yeah, 45s in the next 5 years or 10 years?
They gave us that.
They never gave us nothing, just
250?
blank, hey, how's it going?
That's a status quo for government. That's another pathetic.
5-year plan.
We got
Glad we got something.
fundraising for a sterilization machine at a hospital. Where is the province not stepping up?
Exactly.
That's absolutely pathetic. Where I'm at.
Yeah, the only indication of anything was if we were actually doing pavement in Sandy Lake, they would then like to have us tender their Main Street and Railway Avenue and be included as part of the project. They would pay for the traveled surface, but we'd still be responsible for the parking sides.
Where's this? I'm sorry.
In Sandy Lake, that's the only thing.
Yeah, no, that's fine. We could probably manage that. That's like in Erickson, they had to do the main, right, the ditches.
Yeah, and we explained to them right in Onondaga, our pedestrian corridor, that we were expanding our pathways, that if everyone heads down the west side of the highway, lines up at Fast Gas, if you want to come to Home Hardware, you gotta go all the way back to the other crosswalk, so. We indicated to that it'd be nice to have something else, one more crosswalk in the area, but we're getting pushback, I guess, from traffic engineering because of the amount of speed. It's our speed zones, our signs, everything like that, right in this area.
And that's their responsibility, is to dictate the speed on the highway. You know, there's a lot of walking going on, and I don't disagree that we need another sign, but drivers have to be a little bit more aware too, but then there's confusion on their part of, well, is it a crosswalk? Isn't it a crosswalk? Just because somebody's standing there doesn't mean it's a crosswalk. The speeds are ridiculous because we got so many changes going all the way to the park gate.
Exactly.
But like Steve said, if
10,
we were to
20,
put
30,
that
40, 50.
button there. If somebody hits that button and those things start flashing, they're
I
logging out.
witnessed 3 kids a couple of years ago at Sportsman's Park crossing. And they almost got hit. They pushed the button, started going,
Yep.
and one idiot wasn't paying attention, and luckily enough, he slammed on his brakes and
Okay.
skated to a stop, but.
Well, they
So,
go one just by Elk Farm, you know, when you turn.
Yep.
And is there a lot of traffic there? I don't like crosswalk, I don't know, there's probably
yeah,
more here.
there's a fair bit there in the summertime.
Well, there's.
Who did you meet with? Was there a deputy minister, anybody?
No, Kelvin Sherrera, the regional director, and Walter Whiteside, the maintenance manager for the region.
Oh, yeah.
Where else you guys got it, Brandon?
Both of them.
Well, that's good, at least you got a meeting with them.
Yeah, no, it worked good. So it was good. It was worth having it.
You must have got a laugh out of topping signs.
Kinda, yeah.
Yeah, I bet you did. I just driving school bus, I'm telling you, I've never seen so many signs down. And I take pictures now and I send them and Chad will go, yeah, that's not ours. That's the province, that, and he's got a log of it. And the ones that are ours, I think, I'm not sure, that Timothy Road one's still down.
Okay, so other than that, that's, I think that was all I had too. So can I get a mover to go in camera? Councilor Langston, seconded by Councilor Andreychik. All those in favor? Carried. Okay, we're back from our break. I get a mover to adjourn this council meeting. Councilor Campbell, seconded by Councilor Andreychik. All those in favor? Carried, we're adjourned. Thank you.
When did you get the clock?